Hello, hello, hello. And welcome to a very special live stream. I'm joined by Marek Rosa, once again, CEO and founder of Keen Software House. And Marek, this is the day.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, this is the day.
So we're not going to make you wait long. I know you've been waiting long enough. But yeah, this is really... I think all the team are behind the scenes preparing for this, and I can see the excitement in the chat. I know, let's just quickly, how many of you guys have already got the game ready to go? Give me a quick 07 if you guys are literally, ready to click play. So we're just going to go through a few things here as the team gets prepared to hit the big red button here. So Marek, I think starting off maybe just by giving a mention to the team once again.
Yeah. Thanks again to our amazing team that worked on Space Engineers 2 and is working on Space Engineers 2 and also VRH3. But also thanks to SE1 team that actually has been supporting us for all these years. Because without them, we would not be able to work on SE2. So thanks also to them. And in general, we are one team. And thanks.
Yeah, for sure. And that actually brings on to a quick side point that we did want to mention here, is that Space Engineers 1 development will continue. And there's multiple updates in the works for SE1. So SE1 will be getting worked on in parallel with SE2 and all the goodness that will come with that. And so maybe, Marek, as we're about to launch into Space Engineers 2 Alpha, Early Access, maybe we'll just go over again quickly here, the strategy that we're having with vertical slices and the releases with Space Engineers 2.
Yeah. So I would like to also say that it's been incredible to see the reactions of people after the SE2 reveal, and I'm really looking forward to what players will create in next few days. You really need to share it with us, so please start posting your creations, screenshots, videos, and tag us with hashtag SE2 so we can find it. We're really looking forward to it because I think this will be the same madness that happened 12 years ago with SE1 when we released it, and then just the internet was populated with all the things that people created and some amazing videos every day. It was really cool. But back to the roadmap overview. So we have this what we call vertical slice strategy. So instead of releasing some unfinished, unpolished prototypes, we decided to split the entire scope of the game into vertical slices. And we will be releasing vertical slice after a vertical slice, and each vertical slice focuses on some subset, and we're releasing it in a almost final quality, polished and bug-free and so on. Of course, it's alpha, so there still may be some bugs and many things that actually will be in the game that you will get today will be changed in the following updates and improved and so on. But I think it's quite polished vertical slice number 1. And this number 1 focuses on creative mode. So there is nothing else, just the creative mode. But of course, what we have is the new beautiful graphics and many other things that I will mention later. The second vertical slice, the big one, will be planets and survival, hopefully this year. And then water, planetary scale volumetric water, and then multiplier and NPCs. And in between or before the planets, we'll have few smaller but quite important vertical slices. One will come in a month or two. We'll be adding support for Steam Workshop to the game, so we will be able to share blueprints and worlds with each other. Then there will be vertical slice 1.2, which will be many, let's call it quality of life or some polishing things like better animations, better jetpack mechanics, and so on. Then there will be vertical slice 1.5, which will add modding and editor. So we will release VRH3 Hub, VRH3 Editor, and some guides for people who want to create blocks or textures or even sounds and so on. And so we will release this, and then you will be actually share even the mods on the Steam Workshop. So I think that will be amazing. And the team is already working on all these other vertical slices. And at the same time, of course, in last few weeks, we are bug fixing the game, preparing it for this release. And there will be a hotfix tomorrow, because we already have some little things that we want to release tomorrow. Then we'll collect feedback from players and make another hotfix to really make sure that you can enjoy. And there has been a question why multiplayer comes later. Why, let's say, we are not starting with multiplayer, and actually why we chose this direction or this order of vertical slices. So one, let's say, like reason behind the order of the vertical slices is that we want to start with things that differentiate SC2 from SC1. Because, like if you just release multiplayer, but you already have multiplayer in SC1, then it would be nothing interesting. But vertical slice 1 that we are releasing today, in a few minutes probably, has the creative mode, unified grid system, and that's actually a big thing because now you don't have anymore 50 centimeter and 2.5 meter blocks. You have just 25 centimeter unified grid system, which will make building much more flexible and give you more freedom. And things that were completely impossible in SC1, now you will just do, and hopefully it will be intuitive. And we have new rendering, so the visuals, I think, looks much better. Better voxels, better asteroid, better armor, better blocks. We have the fracturing system for the blocks. So now when you actually shoot some block, it fractures in pieces and looks much more beautiful. By the way, we also added this debug gun tool to the game. Originally it wasn't supposed to be there, but we had it for us for testing, and then we realized that we also will leave it in a creative mode for players, so you can just like start destroying stuff and have some instant gratification from that.
Yeah, definitely. And as we see you guys, we're so close. I know there's a lot of release the game. I know we're here. Just where are we at? Like out of 10, guys, and kind of like hype levels here. Where are we at? We just got a few things here. We're gonna be probably maybe just a few minutes here from showing that trailer. So and then releasing this thing. So not long now. And again, I think one of the key things, just again, is this really the idea of being 10x right over Space Engineers 1 in terms of the level of fidelity and the scope and everything. That's the main kind of thing that we're aiming for.
So we didn't want SC2 to be just like some iterative change, like going 10% or something like that. I always felt that it must be like next revolution. So that's why everything we are redesigning on SC2, we are thinking how to make it 10 times better. And it starts with the intuitiveness. So basically we are trying to make the UI and controls and everything more intuitive. And I think this will just be getting better and better. And I think it will be in creative mode, maybe it's not so important, but in survival, I think it will be much more important. And then you will see, the vision that we have there to make it, to give you the freedom or keep you the freedom, but make everything much more seamless, intuitive, and with some kind of instant gratification. So then we will be adding lore and story. So finally, SC2 will have actually story, main character, affections, and so on. Then we are building it for the next decade. And this is why we needed to start from fresh on a green field and with a new engine. Because sometimes you have, backwards compatibility and it's keeping you down or keeping you limited even mentally. But when you are starting on new, you can, like breathe and like really go crazy. So that's that. Then another 10x thing is the water, and I think it looks amazing, and it will even look more amazing as the team is finishing it, and it will, I think it will change everything in SC2 because it's a new medium, like substrate.
Yeah. So the potential for new like level, like different genres of ships, like submarines. It's just. This is going to be like really
and it's basically another physical force that will be in the game with its own dynamics, different from collisions, crashes, and so on. So I think this will be amazing.
This is to come, of course. All of this is to come, guys. And again, just today, we're going to release the update, and we will have more time. We're going to show some more gameplay off. We're going to get some guests on as well to answer some questions and to go through some things. So we're not going to make you wait long in the stream to get to play, but we do have a full stream packed, guys, for sure. So definitely stick about, and we'll be going through some more stuff here.
Yeah. Then other things from the 10x category is the NPCs or human NPCs and living universe. That's what we want to achieve. Yeah. Then with the new engine also comes better performance, and especially the possibility to scale up to multiple cores as we are adding more and more system to the game. We'll be able to scale up. So this will be beneficial, especially for larger worlds or for dedicated servers where basically more CPUs you have, the game will be able to saturate them and use them. And lastly, more engaging survival. So we will really the first time player experience will be much more streamlined than in SE1.
Yeah.
Like basically much sooner you should get into something satisfying, and then you can start learn from there. And also we'll be really careful about having proper game loops and progression, and yeah.
I think the main thing is that it's like on both ends. It's going to be more intuitive and more accessible on the one end, but at the same time, it's going to be more advanced, and you can build more detailed and wilder creations on the other end. So it's like both ends of the spectrum are going to benefit in SE2 for sure.
Yeah. And this is behind all these decisions for SE2 is that we looked on what is SE1, what makes it unique and successful, and what was also the original vision behind the game.
Yeah.
And we don't want to change those things. Those are simply principles, but you can do them or deliver them in a different way or better way. And that's what we are trying to do.
Okay. Anything else here, Marek, that we wanted to cover here before we roll the clip?
Well, I personally am proud and satisfied with SE2, and also proud and satisfied with the team, that collaborates with me on this game. So, yeah, it's teamwork. It's really amazing. I'm really enjoying working on this game together with my team. So there are successes like that even.
Yeah, this is, I say, guys, huge occasion, and it's like for some players who've been playing Space Engineers for 11, nearly 12 years now, and yeah, the SE2 idea, it's here today. So I think, guys, are you ready? Are you ready for the trailer? Let's see at least one person type trailer time in the chat. And I think, Marek, you feel good about the trailer time? Ready to go? All right, let's do it then. Let's roll the clip. We won't make you wait any longer, guys. All right, here we go. We're going. Here we freaking go. 3, 2, 1, roll the clip.
Greetings, engineer. I've been assigned to create a small relay station, and it's almost complete. Now I'm just waiting for a lift to take me back. Lately, so much has been happening that I decided to record this vlog for future generations. Today, I kick things off by constructing a cargo ship to simplify our travels. My initial ship layout didn't work out, so I simply undid the last few steps and started fresh. We can now construct a part of a ship, save it as a blueprint, and reuse it later to build other ships or create entirely new designs. It's highly versatile and convenient. This time, I built an engine bay with thrusters of various sizes, a gyroscope room, a hangar, a spacious cockpit. It's not just practical, it truly feels like home. Adding the finishing touches was a breeze, thanks to Concordia's new 25-centimeter unified grid system. Next, I found a perfect asteroid to build a relay post. There are so many to choose from in the system. I got to work constructing the base, platform, walls, reactor room, and, of course, an antenna. Dante will be thrilled. I know he's been asking for this for weeks. The new suits we're using are incredible. Comfortable, equipped with magnetic boots, and a jetpack booster. The jetpack is a lifesaver, helping me hop between workstations quickly. But not everything has gone smoothly out here. Just the other day, I heard about another arrival ship that crashed. We were lucky. We got safely to Almagist. As I wrap up this relay station, I can't help but think about the bigger picture. We're not just building ships and bases, we're building a future. This is only the beginning. The stars are calling, and we're ready.
Okay. So, there is the release trailer. We don't have a red button, but we do have a red engineer. So we're not going to make you guys wait any longer for this moment. So Marek, would you like to do the honors here?
Yes. Actually, he has a secret button on his backpack.
Okay, yeah.
So I will press it. I'm pressing it and unleash the release.
Unleash the release. Unleash Space Engineers 2 Alpha. There we go. So, in just a few moments, our team, they've got the signal, and they will be hitting the buttons, and your games, especially if you preloaded already, should be unlocking, and you guys can get stuck in. So, let's see. I'm waiting for the first people to be like, "Oh, my game's working." Let's see. You guys will give us a hint here when you're ready to go. I can speak to Aaron off camera. How are we looking, Aaron? Over there? Everything good?
Looking good.
Yeah, looking good? Okay, let's see. Now this is... Oh, it's unpacking! It's happening! It's unpacking. We've got our first person. It's... hold on. Waiting. Restart Steam. Unpacking now. It's happening. There we are. So guys, really, have fun in the alpha here. The first vertical slice for Space Engineers 2. Definitely... The feedback is going to be crucial as well, so please share your builds, share your videos, share what you get up to, and also, if you come across any issues, definitely report those. If you have suggestions, that's all going to be on the support page, ready to go. And also, if you're not on the Discord yet, we actually made new Discord channels for Space Engineers 2, so also join discord.gg/KeenSWH. So. Yes, this is crazy. We have, now Marek, let's see here. We have, everyone's unpacking. Unpacking hype. Oh my. This is feeling a bit emotional right now. Packing out, 10 gig. Yeah, 50%. Who's the first one to play? Everyone's still on, unpack faster. 10 giga. Awesome. 75%. Yeah, I don't know, I haven't done the unpacking thing for a while, so if you guys maybe it's not unpacking, maybe try Restart Steam, that can be a thing, but it seems like most people are doing it, and we actually have people who are playing already as well, so fan-frickin-tastic. Yes. Thank you guys for being here on the stream today. You only release a game like this, once every while, Marek, so it's a pretty...
Once in 10 years.
Once in 10 years, so yes, see in the next 10 years. No, who knows? SE3, right, Marek? This is
I was saying that SE3 will be in the real world.
In the real world, yes. Yep. Awesome. Well, as we're going to continue with the stream here, because I say we got a lot more we're going to go through. You guys can, if you want to stick about. We're going to be going through some more gameplay. Maybe if you haven't bought the game yet and you want to, still see some more gameplay, have some more questions answered. We're now going to introduce lead game designer Gerd onto the stream now, and just to be here for this moment, we'll go through some of his thoughts on this going into VS1, and then we're going to get the gameplay going. We're going to get Aaron, community manager Aaron, on as well, so the stream will continue here. But please, guys, really go have some fun, go build some cool ships. All right, let's see if Gerd's ready to ride. Gerd, can you hear us?
I can. Hello.
And now we're going to see you in just a second. Oh, there's Gerd. Welcome, Gerd. How are you doing today?
Doing fine over here. Very excited.
So, Gerd, you've been working on... Well, actually, maybe you can give us maybe you can give a brief rundown of how long you've been working on Space Engineers 2 and how it is to feel, be here today on the release into Alpha here.
So, I think it's been over 3 years now. So, It's pretty monumental, pretty exciting moment. I've started working on the project. It was the first project that I basically worked in within Keen. And we've started working when there was basically nothing but designs. So we had some first testing versions, but nothing really worked yet. And I think seeing over 3 years how everything comes together and then becomes from a loose combination of features that work individually to something that's knitted together into something like a game. That's pretty amazing.
Awesome, man. I'm here. Yeah, just 1 second here. It sounds like there's an echo on your side, which is interesting. We hear you just fine here, so I'm just trying to track down the source of the echo here.
Okay, does it work better now for you?
Did you change something?
I'll just make it a little quieter.
Oh, no,
Still,
I'm just seeing here.
I can listen to you well. So.
Let's see. What am I missing here? If I mute this. All right. Speak now, maybe good. No, now I've muted you there. Okay. Interesting. Okay. What am I missing here? Let me mute you here. Try now, good?
Testing 1, 2.
All right, that's going to be fine, I think. That's probably fix the double audio, right, guys? I hope. So, sorry about that, guys. Yes, so good. As well, I mean, obviously, you've been watching the reactions here to the community, and what are you going to be looking out for personally in these first weeks here?
Well, for me, so I've seen some things that people have tried, like in the development team, with the new building systems and with the stuff that we've put in the game. And for me, the best moment's always to see how people kind of advance from this one. So what kind of creative building is going to be popping up, what people use admittedly the limited amount, because we're still adding blocks, but the current included blocks for, and what kind of builds they come up with. I think I've somewhere seen already some approximation to a car. So there's no wheels in the game yet, but some people are creatively using blocks to build something. So
I think I know exactly what you're talking about, actually. I think I've seen that. Someone building the wheels without wheels. It's actually pretty impressive, actually. And I know that's one other thing, because obviously doing the game design, we have some very, very talented game designers. And I think what's amazing is that I know even in this first 24 hours, we're going to have players building things and creating things and putting things together in ways that we simply could not even imagine, because it's like a hive mind, I guess going to Marek, is there something that you're looking out for? You're just looking, in general, is there something you're really excited about to see what players will do?
Well, how they will use the 25 centimeter unified grid system. That's what I'm looking forward to. That how people will connect things, because then we can learn from this for the following vertical slices.
Definitely. And I mean, we're again, obviously, Gerd, we will definitely be having you on at some point to talk about, we've touched on the roadmap, we've touched on what's coming, and, the future is bright indeed. But I guess just coming back into vertical slice 1 is how long did at what point did you kind of decide that, this was the kind of features you wanted to, release with vertical slice 1? How was that from a design approach? Not having the right amount, but then, not having too much in, so you could really focus on the content that is there. So it's a bit of a weird question, but hopefully you'll nail something with that.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Basically, still you must know, you're sitting right in front of the main vision keeper of the game, right? So basically the main decision that we wanted to do is what is first identify, as Marek said, SE1, what is the absolute core of the game. Yes. So what is it that you do most often in the game? You place blocks, right? It's about being creative. It's about playing with kind of blocks to create something more grand. So this is what we wanted to have in the first build as well in vertical slice 1. So it's all about creative building, and it's all about expanding that opportunity or that system that is an SE to be able to build new things, to be even more creative, and to if you imagine SE as a certain let's say a room, right, that has a certain size of creativity, certain things that you can do. Now in SE2, with the systems that we've built, that decision space or that creative space has been increased by an order of magnitude.
Mm-hmm.
The combinations of blocks that you can make are just that much higher. So this increase in creativity or in possibility in the game itself is something that needs a lot of support as well. So you cannot just say, okay, so we, add a certain amount of blocks, or we
at a unified grid system and not have supported features to kind of carry this over. So that's the main focus. That's the main thing that we wanted to focus on. Then also it is a bit oriented on the first release of Space Engineer itself, right? Space Engineers released 2013, and there were a certain set of features that worked pretty well, that had kind of a rounded feeling, and we aimed somewhat also to recreate this path there, to say, okay, so that's kind of what works together, kind of like where the first magic is done, where you feel there is something there. The combination of these features create an experience that is worthwhile testing and worthwhile playing.
Yeah. And I'm actually, this is something that I'm always, we've addressed. It's kind of, one of it was a question from the community, but also, again, some players have been asking, why this wasn't, an update for SE1 or something. But I think we've touched on this. But again, like this is solid foundations for the next years to come of Space Engineers, and there really everything needs to be taken a step up. And I think maybe Marek can touch on a little bit more on that topic. But really having this, starting with the most essential things, and we talk about the core gameplay, and that's kind of what we're in alpha now, but version 1.0 of Space Engineers, whenever that might be, that will have the core gameplay of Space Engineers. That can be expanded upon, but that's the primary mission. And VS1 is the first part of that journey towards this core experience. So I don't know, Marek, if you had something maybe to add there on that point.
Yeah. So as I said, we wanted the freedom to change things without worrying about backward compatibility or the second thing is that SE2 is not SE1. They have many common things. Of course, SE2 is built on Space Engineers principles and the core of the game, but it's not the same game. And I think this is very important, that we're just taking what we think is the core of the game and reimagining it in new way.
Yeah.
And what is core of Space Engineers? What is it for me? Is this feeling that you are a space engineer in a newly colonized or being colonized solar system, and you are building something out of nothing, and you are building it with your hands, block by block, and in SE2 actually blueprint by blueprint also, and you are testing your things. You need to have fast iteration, so you need to be able build something quickly in few minutes, test it, improve, and so on. And you are interacting with a physical world that is destructible and full volumetric. So everything around you is not just some fake 3D assets. It's like everything is volumetric and everything works. Everything is simulated by the physics and by the game engine. So this is the core of Space Engineers. And we are just doing it differently in SE2 than we were doing in SE1. Many things are the same, obviously. The destruction is still destruction.
But better.
But better. There are many things that are better also on the destruction. So I think what I hope is that the players that will play SE2, what is important for me, if they would feel that it's the same but better. If they would feel that this is different, I don't like it. That's something that we would have to solve. But if they will feel that this is different but better, that's what I'm striving for.
Yeah, and I think that sums it up really well, Marek. And I think I'm just curious, Gerd. I'm also super distracted a little bit by the chat, reading some of the first comments coming in. I'm not sure if you have some of the chat up here, Gerd, but very interesting comments so far. There's there's some things that I think Aaron will be monitoring and probably will address when we come on here. Just a couple of things, some people, Marek, I can tell are already, blown away by the graphical upgrade, it's just, pretty. I heard people saying it's running smoothly. We have had some crashes, and I think we already touched on the fact there's going to be a hotfix tomorrow with some things that we're already aware of that'll be hotfixed tomorrow, guys. So if there is some crashes, some of that will be addressed tomorrow, I think. Also, something very interesting is that a couple of people are saying that it's running really well on Linux using Proton. And actually better than SE1. I've seen at least a handful of people saying it's running on Linux. So that was unexpected, right? But it's interesting.
I kind of suspected it. We didn't test this at all.
Right.
There simply wasn't time. But Miro, he was able to run it on Steam Deck.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to talk about this publicly because
but people are doing it, so people are going to be.
So that's really nice.
Yeah.
By the way, another thing that we still need to do during the stream is go through the blog post, at least like very briefly.
Yes.
Because there is a chapter with work in progress, and I would really like to explain to people like what currently in the build is work in progress. So to understand the limits and so on.
I think that's key because there are some players. I'm just seeing what I'm seeing, saying what I'm seeing. Some players are saying, I'm missing this this button to turn off this, or I'm missing. I even saw someone saying that they didn't see the multiplayer, so they might have missed that again. That multiplayer isn't in this version of the game. And I'm just reading here, and I think I'm going to rely on our community colleagues here to help us out with some of this stuff. But definitely some of the repro bugs I'm seeing here, comments. This is all good stuff to report, guys. I see a link for the support site. So it's working on my Steam Deck. Yes, finally. It's a random thing. I didn't expect to be talking about it like so soon after the release. But wow, people are already getting stuck in. So maybe just for all of us, guys, give us your first impressions. And we're going to look at the chat right now. I'm just really curious here. Let's see. When you first loaded up the world, let's see what you guys are saying here. It's fire. It's beautiful, amazing, yes. I'm in. Holy, the audio, meaty. Updating, still unpacking. It's awesome, cool. I love the new shaders. Keen for the win, still unpacking. Whoa, so many here. Running at 60 FPS. Yeah, that's another question. Nice models, fancy graphics. Gritty, runs perfectly. And that's the other thing as well when we talk about the technical performance and how your systems are running the game. That is going to be something interesting because we have our own testing suite. But yeah, it seems like a lot of people seems to be running smoothly, Marek, which is always good to see. So
yeah, very nice.
And I say Gerd is with us here. So I had to look over the screen here. So what are you taking here from the chat, Gerd? From some of the comments you've seen.
Come again?
Have you caught some of the comments from the chat? I'm not sure if you have.
Yeah, a little bit. So I'm very excited to see what people will do, and like once the first impression wears off, see what they still can do. It's very interesting. I just want to reiterate, right? This is like a really an alpha build, something that we've put together where the game and the minimum, like I don't know, a lot of people probably know this like minimum viable product thing. So, what can people do with the minimal aspects of the game? Like there's already a lot of things that can be achieved here. I'm very excited, very curious to see what it is. And basically I've seen people asking for a lot of things that we have all planned in the future. So if you're here, if you're unhappy that some blocks are missing or some other features, we have a lot of it planned, and a lot of it better than SE. So we're looking a lot at SE. We're seeing even what was problematic back then, and then we're seeing if we can improve it. So on the same notion, we always say we don't want to change something if we cannot make it 10x better.
Yeah.
So basically, we don't just want to go into whatever random direction and have a new, completely different game than from what it was before. So that's also important to us. So I'm really excited to see how people use this first, maybe let's say small version of the sandbox that will be expanded 10x over the next vertical slices.
Yeah.
And what people will create out of this. So yeah.
So I think
would you want to know a little bit of the dev side? So what was our main focus, and maybe even why we made some of the decisions here?
Yes, for sure. I think I missed the start of that for sure. No, that would be great. That would be great. That's really good stuff. I think was that a question, Gerd? I missed that. Or was that just summarized?
Yeah, it was a question for you.
Oh so yeah, sure. Yeah, please.
You're still the host, right?
So yeah, I know. I just missed the start of that. If it was like a statement or a question, but no. And just one thing. I'm just kind of reinforcing what you just said there. And I think that is true. That there are, of course, people are going to jump into the game and they are going to feel features that they're very familiar with SE1 and they're not there yet. But when they do come, they're going to be even better. So, I think Marek, and I'll probably we'll come back to Gerd with what he just mentioned there, but just on this point about what maybe isn't in the game, in the sense that we've said that, maybe the today isn't the best day for every player to be getting the game. I'm not sure if you wanted to just expand on that, because I know you have you kind of have like a mentality on this.
Like I was suggesting to not buy the game.
Yeah, don't buy the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Please don't buy. No. The thing was that this is alpha. It's just first vertical slice, so many things are not in the game yet. But I think the things that are quite amazing, and the players that want to play with it or try in the state that it currently is, I think they are more than welcome to try the game. And players who feel that they want more finished, complete experience, meaning not just more polished, but actually more content, more features, then they can wait. They can wishlist the game or subscribe the newsletter. Actually, that's a good idea, because the newsletter will always every month giving some surprise or something special that only the people in the newsletter have, and everybody else they have it later. So also for those players, just follow us, and you can get in anytime later when you will see that we are developing it in the proper direction. And maybe I also comment what Gert gets started. What was the decision behind VS1?
Yeah.
And why creative mode and not why something else? So it has to be a minimum viable set. So you cannot add everything, because then it's not minimum viable. And so you need to choose. And we chose creative mode because we wanted to start with the unified grid system. That's the core of everything. We also wanted to start with the fracture system, because that then determines how we are creating and modeling all the blocks. And actually, just a side comment, making a block in SE2 takes many more man days than in SE1, because in SE1 the artist gets a concept, there is some work on the concept art, then artist takes it and makes it into LOD0, then LOD1, 2, 3, let's say, makes textures, and it's done. But in SE2, they also need to create fractures, and actually for each LOD. So it takes much more time. We are trying to optimize this with some automated load systems, but they are not so perfect. So it still needs human work. So basically, this was the thinking behind why we chose the feature set that is currently in VS1, and why we didn't choose less or more. Actually, I could say even that I don't think we could do less, because then it wouldn't be like, you need to reach a certain threshold of like being interesting and giving players something novel. And those novel things is unified grid system, fractures, the new visuals, new lighting, new shadows, ray tracing, global illumination, tessellated voxel, parallax armor, the new jetpack, so you have the precision mode up to 20 meters per second, and then you have this like boost mode where you go to up to 300 meters per second. And we also have safe speed limit, so when your ships collide, or basically when anything collides up to 20 meters per second, there is no damage. So you can like bump, like these small bumps, nothing happens. I think it's amazing, because now you feel with your ships like they are really this like sturdy, like strong armor ships, and not just, like from porcelain.
Right. Yeah. So that was a big part.
Yeah. Gert, would you add something to the feature set that we choose for VS1?
Mm-hmm. So the one thing that I found very interesting, or that we much focused on, right, with the unified grid system, with the 25 centimeter grids, we, as I said before, right, we expanded the way that people can build. We gave them, or we enabled the creative space. Now, to support this, we needed some support features, right? So we have still similar things that we have in SE, like line building, plane building, symmetry, copy paste, all of these things. But we also have new things, which we thought, and we really thought are needed to kind of support the ability of people to create really amazing builds, right? So that's the undo redo system, right? That's the partial copy paste. So that's kind of the one side of VS1, like enabling people to do crazy detailed builds. And we've seen a lot of people that have already tested the game that came up with a lot of detailed, like really crazy builds. If I think about how some of the people from our team already sank hours and hours into the game and created super interesting, nice shapes and everything, that was amazing. Now, on the same time and the same, let's say, approach, we also still want people who do not want to spend hundreds of hours like creating a very small or like a very super detailed corridor or grid to be able to build something nice, right? Like there is a certain set of people or many people that play Space Engineers, and I'm one of them. Whatever I build, whenever I try to fly it, it always looks like a broken toaster. And I've like, for the life of me, I'm not able to build really nice looking ships like Smoky or other people. So this is still something that we aimed to solve. So this is why we have blueprints. So Marek, I still would like to also go a little bit into blueprints. I think that's also a major part, really.
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
go into it. Yeah, please go ahead.
Well, the blueprint system so far, if you can imagine the detail building as a scale, so to the left you have like the details and everything you can build block by block in great complexity. The other side of the scale are the blueprints. And I don't know who's like, everyone's still already in the game. If you try to open your blueprint screen, right, you probably have seen it already, like you can open G screen, go to your blueprints, whatever. I don't know, like maybe you can also write in chat if you have already created a blueprint or not. So that
let's just see.
Very, very interesting.
Just give me a little 07. Give us some 07s in
the
the chat, guys, if you've created a blueprint already. Maybe it's a ship, a real rapid built ship. Maybe it's a module. Let's see if you've gone through that process. Let's have a look.
Yes, some people did. And now the second question, have you taken that blueprint and moved it to your toolbar?
This is one of the big ones, yeah.
So that's kind of a new thing, basically. Nice. On the way to enable, like imagine you're building a grid with 9 different modules on your toolbar. And out of those, you can reimagine, imagine like you're having Lego blocks and then you combine them to bigger pieces and then you can recombine them to get faster results that really look nice. So
it's a whole new way of building, right?
Huh?
It's a whole new way of building, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So that's the other side, like basically the other side of the coin. So on the one hand, we want to give more complexity, more details. On the other hand, we want to enable people to also basically maybe even more experienced players to provide module sets or blueprint sets to other people to get nice results quickly.
Yeah.
So this is a kind of a way to for players that maybe are not as skilled yet or haven't played for such a long time to be able to get really nice results really quickly. We've tested it internally as well. We had Smoky built some blueprint modules for us, and he even made it in a way so that all of the ships that we built were also connecting in a way that the interiors were working well. So in the end, you're able to use the modules and the blueprints in a way that you can very quickly get really, really good results. So that's something that we really are pushing forward as well.
That's something I wonder as well. You mentioned, people having like module packs and stuff, and I think the potential when workshop comes as well. If you have creators who build like packs of modules for people to use, I think that could be something really cool. Like you have people who kind of have their own like something like Keen Industries or something like that. Keen Industries module pack or something, and it has like certain this specific design style of that specific creator. I think could be something really cool. I mean, I know I'll be building more modules. I think I love the idea of just rapid prototyping. I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep, agreed. So I have one more question for people. I've seen someone liking the paint gun here. So this is also another thing, right? The paint gun evolved, right, from just an abstract functionality, more like a game function, to a physical tool. Anyone has already found the replace color button?
Let's see.
Maybe there's some reactions, not so many. I'll see. Probably when people figure it out, when now we have not just red ship, but we have pink ship, or we have instead of green station, we have brown station or yellow station, or
whatever. They've got it. They've got it, I think.
Someone
There
got
you
it.
go. Yes,
That's
sir.
also one of the main parts, or a very interesting feature that one of the designers proposed. So basically to, again, rapidly iterate and prototype. Marek once told us, in terms of a vision as well, reality is the best designer. So how do you get good results in reality? Well, you rapidly prototype. You try over, you try something, you see how it works, and you iterate fast. So this is also what the feature set of VS1 in creative building allows you to do. You can iterate quickly, you can come up with solutions, maybe like try out different things. And this also goes towards the direction where we say the time from our players is also the most valuable good that they have, right? So you don't need to waste the time. So we want to give you all the tools that you need to get really nice results and to enjoy playing the game. So that's the main goals and main efforts we have with VS1.
Fantastic. I think definitely good. Like, I think this is perfect. I think we'll see this just by reading comments, for the stream or the videos. But actually, I think this is a great opportunity, for you, like streams like this, for you to basically, speak to the community and ask them directly, have a conversation. What kind of their feedback is on this. I mean, I'm just seeing some comments here that I'm not going to go through too many of them, but just a couple things I'm seeing come up, like doors, for example, guys. Doors are currently not functional, so it's not they're not closing. They don't close currently. There was someone saying about the rotating. So this is another thing that people say, how do I rotate blocks? So control, guys, is the modifier key. So you press control and then WASD to rotate blocks. Just a couple of things that I've been seeing here so far, but we can really...
I would also like to ask people if there is somebody who figured it out by themselves.
Yeah, I spoiled it. I spoiled it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sorry about that.
How to rotate blocks. If you figure it out by yourself before Joel, before Xocliff,
Spoils it all.
spoiled.
Yeah. I think what I can say though is I'll say again, I guess I'll leave it a little bit, but there is help. There is help for you guys in the game. So yeah, more Zoc leaks. I know. iSmart, I did. Easy, yeah, I did. So we have got some.
Okay, nice.
Okay, yeah.
By the way, there is F1. So if you press F1, there is help screen.
Yeah.
And there are all the shortcuts.
F1 is the key for getting if you're getting back in. So.
Yeah.
I think there's some more quick hints, right? People are looking how to find the 25 centimeter blocks. There's also a very, very strong distinction that we make. Like there are armor blocks, right? We have 50 centimeter armor blocks. We have 2.5 centimeter armor blocks. And we have 25 centimeter decorative blocks. So please find them in your G screen. There is a own category for the 25 centimeter blocks.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one for sure. I know people will be quickly trying to look for these 25 centimeter grid ones. And actually, it's good. People are now using the F1 screen, Marek, I see, so that's good. F1, if in doubt, guys, will help you get into this. So fantastic. This is awesome. It's so great because people are playing the game, Marek, as we go through this here and chat with Gerd. So it's cool to see these first reactions coming in. So cool, super cool. So Gerd, we definitely we're going to get into some gameplay in a little bit here. We're going to check out some more of the game. Is there anything else today you really want to ask the community? Maybe just announce to the community. We will have you back on very soon. I have no doubt about it. But for today, Gerd, what are we thinking?
I'm just really hoping that people enjoy it. So we've worked 3 years on this. Some people even longer.
Yeah.
It's been quite a journey. And there are many people right now sitting in their chats, in their channels, watching the stream that are from the team. First, I want to really thank everyone who's been part of this journey. Doesn't matter how long they've been part of it. It's been really amazing working with all of you people there. And that's the magic moment for us developers, for us who spend a lot of time thinking about these things, making designs, decisions, also for our great developers who are endlessly spending their brain power to code everything. We probably made some mistakes, sure. We are working with you together to find those. Thank you very much for everyone who joined the alpha to basically help us, to support the team. I'll probably join the rest of the team then in a minute and look at the comments, see what people say. And this is kind of our magic moment here, seeing that your baby that you've worked on for several years comes to life and see what people do with it. So thank you everyone who's joined us today, who's here. And yeah, get creative, get going.
Thank you, Gert, and thank you for being such a good colleague.
Yeah, thanks, mate. It's honestly, this is really, I keep saying it, a special moment, and it's going to be, and you can't give big enough shout outs to the team on this journey, and in a way, guys, you're now part of the team. That's the whole point of us, opening this up to alpha, as soon as we could in some ways, because it's really, really important that you get involved in this, you give us the feedback, and as Gerd said, like maybe there are some things that need to be tweaked and adjusted, and that's why, there is obviously plans, but this is crucial. So it's great to have you joining us as pioneers on this journey.
And the journey is starting now, basically.
Yeah.
And it will go on for a few years. And we wanted to let the community join us as soon as, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's why, VS1, that's why we are not waiting for, VS3 or whatever. That's why we wanted to do it now, so that it can be really shared journey together with the players and in open development. So we can also get feedback, but also we can enjoy the journey together.
Definitely, 100%. And I just can't take my eyes off the chat. It's just so great seeing all the feedback in it. Just guys, I know there's some crashes, there's some things happening, but in general, I really want to see like first impressions, given the context of VS1 Alpha first release. What's like the initial feelings out of 10, guys, as you go into this? Like, how are you feeling about the game and the future of the game as you step into this foundational update? I'm really curious. Yeah, that's awesome. Fantastic. So, Gerd, thank you so much for joining us. Honestly, it's been a pleasure. And we will see you very soon. Enjoy your night.
And we are also enjoying very much if other people use our stuff. So the last word I'm going to say when I
Fantastic. Have a great night, Gerd. Enjoy reacting to everything. Thank you.
Gerd.
Bye.
Bye-bye, Gerd.
Bye-bye.
So, guys, we're going to get into some gameplay next, but just a very quick tangent here, and that, Marek, is Carol, fantastic composer, was recently at the start of the month recording the Space Engineers OST with an orchestra, and we have a little sneak peek video of actually what that got up, what happened there. And I think it's just a short video here. And then when we come back here, we'll be joined by Aaron, community manager, and we're going to get into some gameplay and answer more questions. And also, Marek, we will go through the blog. I think what the plan is, we'll probably do a bit of gameplay, and we're also going to make sure we hit those points in the blog. But just as a little short thing, the music of Space Engineers 2 is another part of the puzzle. It's it's not directly gameplay, but it's part of this whole. The whole puzzle that kind of gives you that feeling and stuff. So anyway, without further ado, check out this clip that we put together from the recent recording. Have a look.
We are in Smečke in Prague, recording the score for Space Engineers 2. Hearing the score live in a room like this with 80 plus people is something incredibly special. The raw amount of talent, dedication to their craft, when they play the notes, is something that you cannot get anywhere else. The only thing you can really do is to get the musicians together. Let them go through the story you want to tell and let them play. And what comes out of it is this pure power, pure emotion that I hope players will experience as well as they play the game.
And there we go. Very, very... Very cool indeed. And I'm going to quickly introduce here Aaron, community manager to the stream. Aaron, welcome.
Oh, welcome. Hello there, everyone.
And so, Aaron, just as we transition there, that was a fantastic video, a fantastic event of the Space Engineers soundtrack being played by the orchestra. I'm just curious what the chat thought of that, but how was that for you guys watching this?
It was stunning. It was beautiful. It was such an emotional experience watching that video right there.
Yeah, it was. And also, like, I was more lucky because I was able to visit the place when they were recording. So it was really nice.
Yeah, definitely an unforgettable experience. And I just wanted to share that. It's, again, it was something that we had to share with you guys now to check that out. So and I think this is already published, though. I think they can watch this.
Yeah, it's already published. It's up on YouTube and other social media outlets, so you can watch it for yourself and enjoy just the quality of that video.
Yeah,
and but also it's about the soundtrack, which is part of the Pioneer Edition, which you can also get on Steam. And the Pioneer Edition contains the soundtrack. I think there is roughly 30 tracks, if I'm not wrong, and many of them are actually recorded with the orchestra. And Karel has been working on the tracks for last, I would say, even 3 years, because we really started kind of like brainstorming and some prototyping and testing for the music and like what we want to convey with the music 3 years ago, and it all finalized now. And what else? There is also a PDF booklet in the Pioneer Edition, which is mapping the development history of SC2 from the beginning until now. So far, we'll be updating both the soundtrack, so we'll be adding new tracks. And also the book will be updating. And in the book, you can see some things that you probably cannot see somewhere else.
There's some very juicy stuff in there for sure. And actually, that was as you already went over it there. Like this fantastic soundtrack, the raw, high quality recordings.
Really builds the experience when you're playing. Turn that music up. Tasty.
And actually, talking of the Pioneer Edition, which has this, the Pioneer Edition will improve, guys, over time. So
there'll be more features added to the Pioneer Edition. Yeah. You'll also have a sneak peek behind the scenes of development.
And I'm just give me an 08 in the chat. Give me some 08s if you are a pioneer of the Space Engineers pioneer.
Well, let's find them pioneers out there, right?
Aaron, we're talking about that intro there. We got to have the first line. Come on, we got to do it.
The intro.
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know. We'll have to save that. We'll have to save that one for another time. This is such an exciting moment to be. It's just a pleasure to be here, really.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed that you missed out before. You didn't quite say that they can always bring their blueprints in.
Yes.
So if you want to get your ship I would say it's quite a good condition. Of course, it might come with a few blocks missing, but you can always fix that and replace that with some of the blocks of your own. But we do have an SE1 to SE2 grid converter.
And I will just add that again, it cannot convert everything because in SE2 we have the unified grid system, and of course we don't have all the blocks that we already have in SE1, because SE1 has hundreds of blocks. I don't even know, but I think last time I kind of checked 300, and we don't have so many in SC2, and some blocks maybe change size and so on. So please don't expect that it will convert like 100%, but it's more like a good starting point, and then you can finalize it in SC2. Another possibility is that maybe just start rebuilding your ships from scratch with all the new power and flexibility that you get thanks to unified grid system. That's another way how to look on this.
Yeah, because you can do a whole new level of detail with them smaller blocks. So restarting or completely redesigning a ship that you've worked on in the past would completely overhaul it.
And some players are asking, how do we access this?
Well, we'll send a link out as soon as possible. I've already put one in the chat earlier when I was at the computer, but you can also jump on the blog post, scroll down to the bottom, and in the FAQ at the bottom there is a link to the grid converter.
So there you go. It is out there. You just got to find the link. And maybe if you guys have the link, especially, and we have the mods out there, they can also get that link repasted in the chat for you guys to jump in, check that out. I think, and you already mentioned, like, yes, of course, it will replace blocks that SE2 doesn't have with armor, but still, it can be a nice way to kind of quickly see what
But
get you
still,
started, right?
still, the challenge of building a ship in SE2 from the ground up is fascinating because you can now combine the large blocks, the small blocks, and the detailing cubes that have endless detailing possibilities.
Yeah, 100%. And I already can't wait to see, like, it's not gonna take very long before we start seeing really epic screenshots of ships taken very soon. So
Maybe something is already on, on social media.
yeah,
Oh, I've already seen a few. I've seen
Oh,
some people doing these tiny first ships, just load of thrusters in a cockpit, trying to make them as small as possible.
it's also quite a big deal because you never forget your first ship. You know what I mean? Like, I mean,
Let's say sometimes you want to forget your first ship.
you're not wrong. Okay, my first ship was all right, but no, I think that's a good point. That is a very good point there. So,
The best thing with the first ship, though, is you can always come back to it when you have got a bit more skill in building and then do another iteration of it. And especially with the segment copy and paste, you could always work on some modules and then put together multiple ships from their modules in the future.
definitely. And Aaron, we are going to jump into, we're going to continue the discussion here, guys, and we are going to jump into the gameplay just a bit, because I know some of you guys are probably still wondering, maybe they're new to the stream, they're new coming back, they haven't actually seen that much yet. So we'll do that. Just a second here. I just wanted to ask you, Aaron, just as you behind the scenes here watching this launch go out, are there some immediate, reactions, comments, things that you want to address straight off the bat here? Reminders, maybe?
The first reminder is if you do find a bug, of course, report it to us. Check out the blog post. There's a procedure to report them, and there is all the links there that you need as well. So get that feedback in as well. If you've got comments on features, controls, or anything, get that information over to us so we can review it as well. But also get your ships posted out there on social media so we can see them using that hashtag SE2. And then later on this week, I'm going to have a look through them and I'm going to try and show off some of your designs.
Yeah. It's one of the best ways, and I said that using that hashtag SE2 will just help us to
Got to locate them, Grace.
We've got
to hunt them down.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure that the other members of the team are going to be checking all the various the Discord and all kinds of places to see where people.
The Discord
are
is spamming with different grids.
Really?
We're seeing loads of things. We've seen everything from explosions to people building ships to people mining asteroids. They're trying out every single feature. It's really exciting. It's a super exciting time.
Yeah, and that's actually something that's probably one of the only downsides from streaming is that I can't just be scrolling through Discord right now checking that. I'm gonna have to wait till the stream's over.
The only downside is we can't be playing right now.
Oh, all right, good point. All right, that's a good point. Yeah, okay. So let's jump into the game here, and we can and maybe we'll give Marek the honors of playing it on this occasion here. I'm just going to go to Game Plus. Here we go. All right, so here we are in the S1 Space Engineers 2. So we'll just spin this around for you, Mark. Okay.
It's a lovely menu screen, that background.
We'll start afresh here then.
So, and again, this is VS1, so only creative mode, no survival, no campaign yet.
But still teasing, alluding to the future,
Yeah. And in creative mode, there are no planets yet. Planets will be added in VS2 together with survival.
What would be nice is if we set the players some mini challenges. Perhaps the players could have a go at building their first ship and then report it in with the hashtag SE2. Maybe their first asteroid base. Put away the asteroid with a voxel tool, place an outpost inside, dock your ship.
I mean, I think that could work, actually. We could try and get some...
I just love to see them building, and I like to see them building with some sort of mission. Mm-hmm. I want to see them grids.
And I mean, straight off the bat, here we are on the asteroid, and we're seeing, of course, the new the voxel tool.
The new voxel tool, that illumination. Beautiful.
And just a little bit as we can see the tessellation as well here.
Because all the asteroids now also have them, you can see the white edges, and Marek explained it in some of the other videos, just giving that extra level of detail, making them even crispier.
So yeah, I'm just playing around. Now I would like to show the jetpack, the new jetpack. And now this will be the boost mode. And we will go up to 300 meters per second.
Give us a
Acceleration.
full screen here. Here we go. Let's give it a bit of full screen.
Because that new speed limit, we've not touched on this much, but that is going to be an absolute game changer.
And again, the reminder that you can, in the option settings, change from meters per second to miles per hour to kilometers an hour. So you've got a few different options there for if you have a preference for how you measure your speed. So actually, let me learn the chat. Actually, guys, from those three options: meters per second, miles per hour, kilometers per hour. What are you going to be using while you play Space Engineers? Let's see.
I know what I'll be using. Good old meters a second.
Oh,
yeah, we'll go back to the original there.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I do like my miles per hour, but it's going to be meters a second for me.
I'm also going to put some of the game music here. Here we go. We got some game sound. Oh, look at that. I wish we could. I wish that was a poll. I think mostly meters per second. There is some. There is a bit of a mix in there though.
Definitely meters a second's winning there.
Now here we go. I've already seen a few comments, Marek, about the mag boots and the meaty sound as we step on the.
And now we'll shoot the destruction.
And fractures.
It's also quite surprising how smooth it is. That physics can handle it, and you can just destroy pretty much anything.
We're destroying the artist's hard work. As you were just saying earlier, Marek, the amount of work that goes into each and every one of these blocks is so much greater now, including all the fractures.
And I just destroyed
fractures details, yeah. Maybe you have to cut one open and have a peek inside.
Wow.
I do like the glass though, when the glass smashes and just floats away.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, yes.
I did see some comments already about performance and how you guys are finding the game. If you have you can just say smooth, but if you guys can see your FPS, what kind of FPS are you getting in the game right now? I'm definitely seeing some solid comments there about performance you guys are getting. I'm really curious. I guess probably the graphic. I guess it probably makes sense. Probably the FPS plus the low, medium, high, extreme.
Lovely and smooth walking across the asteroid though
so
now.
This is the new mag boots. So smooth.
Oh, this is especially in first person because it's almost like a gimbal.
Yeah, perfect transfer between the different services. But the suit itself as well is so detailed, because if you get a chance, have a look at it closely. The mag boots, the jetpack, the helmet. Oh.
Very interesting, guys. Thank you for putting those in the chat. I am reading through these here.
Always feels a bit like a horror movie, doesn't it, when you're exploring the inside of an asteroid?
Spooky. So the players are really finding all those new features quick. I'm seeing comments about the precision mode as well. People really enjoying the precision mode. Marek, you just brought up there as well.
It might be worth also talking about how most of the controls now have been moved to that left hand as well, just to make things a little bit easier, so you can keep that hand on the mouse as much as possible.
Yeah. Basically, that's true. You don't need to bring your hand to the other side of the keyboard. So with Control and WASD, you can do the rotation.
Yeah.
What else? Shift is for sprinting, but also when you're in jetpack, you are boosting with Shift. It's kind of intuitive. And Control C, Control V for copy paste. Then Control Z and Control Y for the undo redo. And I will show more.
And also, if you are struggling with the controls, all the hints are pretty much on screen. So as you cycle through the different control options, you can see them right above the HUD there.
And you have it, right above the HUD there. But also, this is something you'll probably discover as you're exploring the world, guys, is that the contextual hint system as well. As you're walking around, this system is going to be huge, especially when you're starting out, you're coming back into a new update or something, because this will it will explain things much better as you're exploring, as you're walking around and interacting with things. But for now you've got those hints just above the toolbar. You also have the F1 menu. This is a real big one, especially for a lot of you guys today who are jumping in. Just open the F1 menu, just to have a quick look and to quickly familiarize yourself with some of the changes. Maybe you could show that, Marek, actually quick, just the what they can find in F1. So there you go. Yeah.
There's also the welcome menu you can access as well.
Mm-hmm.
You've got your advanced controls.
Mm-hmm. So you just flicking over this real quick, you're gonna okay, that makes sense now. You can just quickly see it. I mean, you might dip back in here, and you might have to still have some practice here. Oh, you got Marek's signature there. There we are.
Yep.
I mean, with new controls, there's always a slight adjustment period. But when you do get used to these new controls, they're really exciting.
Yeah.
But I've seen some people commenting that controls not change.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the perception, then that's good. And the small things like the rotation, I think it's more intuitive now.
That's what we want. We want players just to be able to jump straight in and get playing and building and experimenting as fast as possible. But we want it better than SE1 in terms of controls. We want you to be able to do more.
So this is 25 centimeter detailing cube.
Yeah.
Even the placement sparks when you drop that cube are quite
Satisfying.
Trying to balance the game sound here so you guys can hear that. See, I'll push up a little bit, I reckon.
And what I like about the game is that you can actually place blocks inside that area.
Oh, the med bay, I think, is probably the best way to... you can do it a lot of things, but it's the best way to showcase that, I think. So, yeah.
I remember the first time we showcased this, everyone went absolutely
Oh,
wild.
I know, yeah.
Just means you can customize that block. You can also kind of make your own custom skin by just skinning the block with some 25 centimeter detail cubes.
With the paint gun going there.
Yeah, and I can place blocks even here and here.
Basement right there. You could build yourself a little, even a bed next to it, or a little access handle. Or some fake oxygen bottles if you want to get a bit detaily.
I think the thing is that you don't like these detailing things. They're not necessarily essential. So you can still build quicker by using the 2.5 meter, and you still can get things together. But it's when you really want to make things more detailed, have that greater level of detail, that you can come in with these detailing cubes.
Yeah, exactly like you're saying. Like, if you still want to build with the two other sizes, you can build really quick. But these smaller blocks just allow for that next level of detail if you want to bring it there.
Yeah. I'm just going to try and address some things. I mean, you guys are figuring out. So the Gatling guns in the game currently are not functional, guys. So a little bit, so the Gatling guns, you can decorate your fighters and your ships with them, but they're not going to be able to shoot. And it's the same with the doors. So just, if there's some confusion there why, they're not functional, it's because actually, they're not currently functional.
Yeah. And also undo redo. So
here we go, yeah.
Let's say I don't like this, so I can just undo.
That is huge.
I can redo.
Especially nice if you hear the sounds. I feel like you can make a little music track out of that.
So currently there's 20 undo and redo steps.
Yeah, that's actually a fair point. Actually, there was some questions about that. Actually, how many steps can you be go back by, and that's very key to point out for now. Oh,
and I can also destroy.
this. Yeah, that's wow. And again, I think Mark touched on it, and is that the debug gun tool is really just a way for you guys to immediately have some fun with the destruction and experiment with it. This isn't necessarily a balanced weapon or anything like that, but this is just, here we are, on the VS1. This is a way for you to quickly experience the level of destruction in Space Engineers 2. I think I saw a question, Marek, which I think you'll probably get to, and that's the question about the partial copy as well. So maybe we could get into some of that in a second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There is some bunk beds in the other room, I think, that you could always partial copy.
Oh yeah. So I don't know.
Just quickly show the terminal. You know, there is terminal,
Yeah.
but with the basic parameters.
With a couple of new things though, like the ability to copy the settings. This is also, I saw some people noticing this, and this is going to save you a lot of time as well. So you can configure a light, select multiple, and then paste the same setting on a bunch of them.
Yep, and here we have blueprint. So you wanted me to show
The partial copy, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
the partial copy means that I can select part of a grid and copy it to as a blueprint, and then I can put the blueprint eventually to workshop, or not now, but in the next update, or I can put it on my toolbar. So there was a ship here, and I will make a partial copy of some part of the ship.
So you could use this for building parts of a ship. We saw a lovely example by Splitsy, who took a little kitchen inside the ship. They turned it into a module, and that module you could then use to paste around in other ship designs. Or for instance, you build a really nice bunk bed or cargo container setup or some sort of pallet system design. You take that and then you can use that in other areas of your design as well.
So yeah, here you can see Marek, he's just in the plane, and you can expand it like that, or you can just choose a face to kind of using the scroll wheel to go out. So this way you can precisely copy a very specific part of a grid.
Yeah, so you can focus it with the WSD, or if you don't hold down any of them keys, you can just expand the box with the mouse wheel.
Yeah, and all the keys, I say, guys, here's the questions that Aaron just said there, but they're also, again, just above the toolbar. You see this control, the mouse wheel, and you get all those hints of how to use each thing thanks to those hints on the screen there.
Yeah, and now, partially copy-paste. So I will copy it here. What's not implemented yet, but this will be in a future update, is that to convert it directly to blueprint. Because now I need to go through, like a little detour where I copy there, now
Then Control B.
Control
and then,
B.
Yeah, why don't we blueprint it and add it to our taskbar just in case we want to use it later?
It's okay. All good. Blue fighter release. Yeah.
So now we have it in the blueprint library, and I go to
The G screen, which is also,
and we.
Oh yeah, sorry. It has a lot of blueprints in there. Should be.
It might be right at the bottom. Will it? Oh, no,
At the very bottom, I think. That
Now
was.
I can
okay.
actually place it to the toolbar, and I can now build with it as if it was a block, or maybe I picked different one, right?
Yeah, that was, I think, from
Yeah.
one of the previous ones there. So I think it probably at the bottom. I think, Marek.
We just filled the whole screen
Yeah.
with modular
All
ship
the
parts.
modules, yeah,
It gives you
yeah.
some ideas though what you could do when it comes to building a modular ship.
Yeah, so it's here,
Yeah.
and again I can now basically now it behaves like a block, so it will snap, can rotate.
And that's the thing, and you're actually directly attaching that to the station, which is we're seeing that unified grid system. It takes some getting used to, I think, if you're new to SE2 and you're thinking, oh, okay, I've got the large grid station, the green station, I've got the blue fighter, but actually they can be one. That's the thing, just grid, as we say. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you want me to show?
Ooh, maybe the paint tool replace
Okay.
color. Yeah, that's a good one. Quickly change faction faction type. Change the red. Yeah, the red. Now
So
this.
of course I can repaint like this. By the way, one of the limitations that we still have in the build, in this current build, is that every time the game autosaves, it lags for a half a second. So, please bear with us. But this will be, of course, asynchronous and parallel in some next update.
Yeah.
Another limitation is pause. So the game actually doesn't pause. But again, it will be changed next update.
And
So actually, internally we already have it.
Okay, yeah. So it's some of these like changes, guys, that I think you'll probably immediately be like, oh, I wish we had that. Like some of these smaller things, I think will come relatively soon. And I also saw some comments, about settings that players are missing from SE1 as well. And you can definitely count there will be more settings available to you in the future. And that's just, I'm talking game settings and so on.
I was going to say, even the paint gun getting a lovely overall, isn't it, Barrett? Like, there's lots, like every every feature, everything you see has got lots of development still going on with it.
Yep. We already have a version.
A very nice version.
Like triggering the
animation, you mean? Like
the animation, triggering the trigger, like pressing the trigger. It will also rotate. The barrel will rotate. Ooh. And the color changes slightly. It will not have this yellow thing because it's kind of confusing. And what else? And the particle effect is different. I think it's much better, the new one that you will get in the next update.
Yeah, and that again comes down to some of the things you guys see. I mean, we always say it, they're not final. Some things are placeholder that you see.
It's all about refinement. The key is refining these details and making that times 10 experience. Shorten drills as well.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I'll just send this into full screen again for this.
No, I actually had to play around with the drills when I was doing some testing and drilled some things I shouldn't be supposed to be drilling. and it led to some quite interesting results, especially if you decide to drill a small grid.
And what happens?
You just start ripping it apart.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't actually tried that.
Like I was behaving badly, and I took my drill and drilled off an antenna on something, and then I was like, oh, this is actually really nice. Sparks. The rumble as well from first person. It's really quite immersive. Just imagine exploring an asteroid.
See that tessellation again there, and I have seen. We're seeing a lot of it here, just on the asteroids from the station, and that is the lighting. How are you guys feeling about the lighting in Space Engineers 2? And I've been talking about it for the last month or so, and I think just the last stream I said that the lighting is the lighting tech is vastly improved. And it's one thing looking at it on a stream, which, streams are compressed and so on. But when you jump into the game, I'm speaking for you guys here, but, from my experience, when you're playing in the game and you're walking around these corridors, you're seeing the reflections, the lighting. It's so satisfying. The shadows, everything. I'm just checking that you guys feel the same way here. And I think, here's another thing for you guys. Play SE2 for a bit. And if you jump into SE1 again, and this is just for the graphical thing, and I think that I say is you can really even more, notice the difference in lighting when you actually hop between them a little bit, and you see that. And again, Marek's in my favorite corridor where you can see the engineer's shadow cast on the asteroid.
I like it in this red color, even like when it's just like one color everywhere, it looks so nice. Yeah. Like it has this SE visual style. Like very technical and geometrical.
Look at that, yeah, and you can see this again. It's this corridor. You've got the pipes on the ceiling as well. You have the unified grid system. It's absolutely fantastic here.
Yeah, it's thanks to the lighting, shadows.
Yeah,
and it's also nice that it runs so smoothly on kind of like normal PCs. And another thing I think that is quite unique is the anti-aliasing that we have and the way it's configured. That even things in distance you see like very sharp and
crisp. Yeah,
crisp.
Actually that brought me on to one other thing, Marek, and that I think you can talk about it a little bit, and that's the just like the methodology, I guess, when it comes to like post-processing, because I think that's something that the game is on that topic of the game being very sharp and very crisp. I think you have there's some reasons for that, right?
Well, I mean, it kind of happened, but I would say the visual style that I always foresee for the game is like you must feel, or you must be able to feel the geometry.
Yeah.
So anything we can do to like help, with the visual perception of depth and scale and just like the metalness of the objects around you is important. And the sharpness somehow happened, luckily, and we are keeping it. And actually, I even sent email to artists and to render programmers that please don't change the render settings, and like really keep it as it is. Like we are not adding, chromatic aberration or some other post-processing effects. Like it will kind of make it more blurry and messy. And when we will need to have different render settings, probably for the planet, because you will need some things probably will need to be different. So we still will not have one setting both for space and planet. We will have two and interpolate between them because we want the best of those two worlds. We don't want some kind of compromise. So, but again, I don't even know how to explain this with words. But now SE feels like SE, like it always was supposed to feel, like geometrical, iron, metal, and you can feel proud, when you build something.
Do you think that's a lot to do with the block edges now? Now that blocks don't have edges, the grids feel like they are more connected together?
Yeah, could be.
It'd be interesting to see what the chat say. Are they pro edge blocks, or are they like a nice smooth?
Oh, let us know, guys. Let us know.
Because it's when you get close to a grid, or that even the small fighter, when you do see that, and just how smooth them edges look.
Well, I'll come over here in a second.
Yeah, it just really seems to pull the grid together better. Because the blocks just seem to flow into each other without sharp edges.
Like, there are many ways that helped. For example, the armor texture. Like we spent quite a lot of time on this new armor texture. In some way, it looks like the pattern is very similar to what we have in SE1, but now with the parallax mapping, it just feels more plastic. And by plastic, I mean geometrical. With these.
The cuts and lines look deeper. They feel deeper into the actual.
Because they are.
Because
they are. That's the thing that now they are. I would not say real geometry because it's still parallax, so just like a pixel effect, but kind of with real geometry effect. So yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, there is some nice rotating parts on them. And when you do shoot them, I love it how the gas comes leaking out of the reactors. And the part inside still continues to rotate, but probably at great risk.
There's our reactor there. Very nice. And specifically, this is the the size, because you guys will notice that some of these there are some different size. That's what I want to talk about briefly. So here you see like the contextual tooltips, and obviously, as I mentioned already, the doors currently aren't functional, but you can see that contextual tooltips in action there, just like on screen, popping out, and telling you press F to open the terminal, and you can expect more of this moving forward. And I do really think it plays into that intuition and kind of accessibility that we've spoken about, multiple times, even today.
It definitely will be nice, especially when you're accessing buttons and you want to make sure you don't press the wrong button.
Yes, yeah. Oh, like here we go.
Yeah,
Look
exactly.
at this. We got gyroscope room, so we got open terminal. I mean, I think this is all set to be the same right now, but you can see that in action. And here, still, it has to be one of my favorite blocks, and it is the 7.5 meter gyroscope. And that is another thing that we're going to get used to, speaking about. It used to be, large grid gyro, small grid gyro, or large. Now it's like in meters, like the 7.5 meter gyro, the 2.5 meter gyro, the smaller one is the... blank now, it's not 25, it's 50 centimeter gyro. Yeah.
But there's so much detail in this block. If you just have a quick look around it, like you've got all the detailing on the actual gyro rotating. You've got the two sort of rotating points on the side. You've got the warning labels.
I'll take it outside.
I'll go
take it outside.
But when I was exploring these blocks to make the video, you can really find just what sort of effort the artists have gone to design these blocks.
Boom.
Yeah, so have a look inside it and have a look at the floor. You'll notice that there's cables and wires connecting it up. I think it's a really nice detail. You've got all the little warning stickers. You've got one outside the glass on the left. You've got the top access port. You've got rotating bits on the side. And I think it's really important as well when you're building to be able to use a block from multiple directions.
Yeah.
And that's definitely been taken in consideration here. And you'll see that with some of the 3D printer, like the assembler model, it has multiple ways that you could use it, so you could integrate it differently into your ship.
And it's still, all these models that we're seeing, it still comes back to this this principle of everything being that much better quality, like that step up. And don't get me wrong, the blocks, there's some stunning blocks in SE1, and the guys I've already mentioned, they're cooking the next updates for SE1 as well.
Yeah.
And there's some amazing blocks coming for SE1. But just because of the technology used and the resolution of the textures and everything, like the idea of SE2 is still to have it really feel next level.
For example, for the resolution of textures, we have how we call it, texture resolution ratio. So basically, we know what should be the resolution of texture per meter in asteroids, in blocks, in armor, or character suite, and so on. And we are really, making sure that the resolution per meter is the same, almost the same everywhere. So you should not see, some part of the block to be blurry and some other block or some other model to be sharp. As Joel was saying, the sharpness is very important for us, because I think it's actually kind of like the visual identity of SC2 compared to other games, that are not so sharp.
Yeah, I was just again showing here how you just have a big large gyro, and I'm actually, you might think, oh, that's a one solid model gyro with lights, but no, I'm just putting interior lights wherever I want.
They do integrate seamlessly, don't they, into it. Like you can build so close to the blocks and make some really nice shape. Like as soon as you started doing that, I just imagined that you wrap the detailing cubes around it, like it was in some sort of secure cargo mode.
I want to put the lights on it, but then I do need to. We're attached to. Let's see. It's probably. I think it's these ones. Let's go make them red. And that's another thing you guys see here. For the light changing, you've got the hex code. Oh, it's so amazing. So if we're just taking a hex code, and you can even take it out of the game or paste it in, and you've got a whole wheel
Match
here.
your ambience, can't you?
I know. So even the settings here, and it's switching here from like a kind of RGB style thing to actually hue, saturation, and value, and a hex code. So as someone who I've worked a lot with hex codes over the years, it's very satisfying to see that here. So we can make these. Well, I've made them all red, but what I wanted to do was the fact that I can come in here. And you see, I can do copy block settings. I can find one of the other lights. This is just, I think, on the platform somewhere. And I can paste those settings to that other light later.
It's
and
just convenience.
I know,
Yeah.
So I think I got the right lights. Yeah, they are red. There you go. They go hide behind the sun. So there we go there. So already some nice kind of quality of life things that, I guess comparing to SE1 that, it's going to make building and customizing even more
just more immersive.
Yeah, and fast, more efficient actually. So what I can go on, Marek.
But by the way, another nice thing, maybe small for somebody, but for me it's a really big one, is the new skybox that we have in the game. And I think it's I really love it, because we wanted skybox that has some kind of depth, and also it's not just black with some stars, but has some structure. So there are some clouds or nebulas, and
the key thing I've always noticed with the background or the skybox is that you want it to contrast your grids, so you can see your grids against it.
Yep.
And with them greyish tones and them stars, it's just the perfect backdrop for most of the scenarios that you're going to be in.
Yeah, and also it doesn't feel like the dark place, So there is all this kind of ambient lighting coming from the sky, even though, of course, it's not.
But in shadow, if you're in darkness away from the sun, I saw some people comment on this already, here we are on the kind of dark side of the station, and it's pretty dark down here. I have here, it's pretty, and obviously I can turn my lights on, and boom, I see. So it's, again, some of that new lighting. I did see comments about how you guys feel about the new skybox. I did see some, because it's one of the first things you see when you look at the game, the skybox and the visuals, and I did see some skybox fans there, so that's great. Yeah.
And the inspiration was kind of, like a Baroque paintings. With, with
the sun coming in.
Yeah. That was it. To actually feel like you are in a painting.
That glare as well, as it reflects off the grids, if you look down, it's just nice and feels bright.
Looks lovely. Absolutely magnificent. Yes. Beautiful.
So Joel, maybe we can go to the blog post.
Yes, we can. I think let's go through that now. So yeah, we've shown a bit of gameplay here, guys. But again, the difference is now. I mean, obviously, I think we can always. There's always more gameplay to be done, but the difference is now you guys can actually play yourselves. You can jump right in, and I know that maybe some people are still waiting. Maybe they're still waiting to see some other people jump into it. But the amount of gameplay that's out there is just suddenly just shoot. Yeah, so.
It is the time. If you were a builder, it is the time to get in and get building.
Yeah, this is actually Aaron's. I think Aaron's recent statement is like, it's for the builders right now.
This first core stage is for the builders. If you love to build in creative mode and build out your ship, then that's exactly what you'll be doing in this stage. You'll just be spending time after time placing them blocks down, getting the shapes back right, refining the blocks with them detailing cubes. So it's perfect for the builder.
100%. So and we can address some stuff. We're going to go through the blog post now, guys. A little bit different order because normally we do the blog post and but we're trying to mix it up, okay? See how you guys feel about that. So I'll bring up the blog post here in just a second.
I provide you with a link if you need it.
Yeah. By the way, some people are asking about the 60 FPS cap.
They just need to turn off, yeah.
Yeah. So actually,
they just need to turn off VSync.
You think?
Yeah, because it's definitely not limited to 60.
For me, like, I wasn't paying attention to this, during development at all. I'm keeping these things for later when, like, creative mode is working and so on. So I cannot comment on this, but yeah, I mean, we'll be making these things, like more configurable or just like better and better. So basically, what is in VS1 is really, it's VS1, like, and more will come.
Yeah, but I think some people. Hold on. So you guys saying that you've got VSync off and it's still locked to 60? Because I've seen other people saying they have 150 FPS, 100 FPS. So right now.
No, it's something we can review because
we can check this.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I've had. Yeah, I don't know.
Some people are saying that disabling it does fix it. But we'll check this out and we'll get this reported and have a look at it to see if it is actually the case.
Yeah, I'm sure our QA colleagues, they're on the chat and probably already making notes.
Sorry guys, almost there. Just checking we got this right. Yeah, good. Alright, perfect. Alright. Okay guys. So you should see the blog post nice now. So we're gonna go through this. Oh, you can also see my Steam. Hold on a second. Like you can see John Wack playing Space Engineers 2. That's good to see. Hold on.
Oh, it's gonna be exciting tonight, isn't it? I was gonna see all my friends. Space Engineers 2, Engineers 2.
I thought I turned off my Steam notifications.
Well, they turn on, sometime or when you have new installation.
Yeah, let me
like
see
it's really hard to
get it off. I know. I can. What I'll do is I can get out of Space Engineers quickly, and I'll just exit Steam. I just do one less distraction. Thanks. I saw John and Hamster there. I saw you guys. All right, I don't want to end the stream here. Let's just. I can't exit Steam. All right. Well, that should be no more Steam notifications, so that should be good. All right. Okay. All right, here we go then. So, move the mouse over here and let us begin with a nice photo of Marek. You've updated your photo, Marek, recently. It's very nice. This is a painting that was done. I think there's a story behind. I'm not sure if you've ever told the stream about it. I think some point maybe, but maybe you can tell a quick, as it's right there, a quick story.
Yeah. So I have this Roman armor. I got it many years ago by the group that doing Roman reenactment, and one day. I put it on, and one of our colleagues, Rastko, artist, he came, he made photos, then he, kind of like touched them in Photoshop so they look like oil painting, and we printed it, put it into a nice frame, and it's downstairs in Orangeria.
It's massive, yeah, it's huge. We have it here, so it's very nice.
And like having it here feels a little bit narcissistic, but it's beautiful. Painting and beautiful frame.
You can't say no to a GIF like that, So
It's very nice. And actually, like the face I'm making on the photo, I was trying to be like this. Like when you are Roman, and you feel like you are, you know what I mean? Like you are.
Like a classic photo.
Yeah, like you just returned from war. You won the war, and now you have this like proud Roman face.
What do you think about the title Maricus Maximus?
Yes.
Very nice, Dr. Kazma. Anyway, so moving on here for the SE2 release, we got a lot to get through, but let's have a look here then. So
I think mainly to work in progress.
Okay, so you're going to skip to that bit. We've covered a lot of this, guys. So we've done a good job of the stream.
We've covered as much as possible.
So you guys can jump in and you can check this out. I think the guys will blog this or link this in the.
So we haven't covered the safe speed. Well,
not yet in the gameplay, but it is an important change. There's a safe speed, I think.
So the max speed has increased from 100 to 300 meters per second, or 1,000 something, kilometers per hour. And safe speed is that up to 20 meters per second, there is no damage on grids.
This is crucial because we all hate whacking our grid on the tiniest little thing and the whole thing falls apart. So having a safe speed is going to allow you to be just a whole lot safer.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, reminds me. I don't know if this is here, but we should have the. This is a little off on a tangent here, but if I bring this up. Yeah, just this screen here. This I think it's just a bit further down the page anyway, but this quickly shows you guys all the blocks that are in the vertical slice 1. So just leave that on screen for a second there. But I'm just I guess saying again about the safe speed is that I think so often people have designed a beautiful fighter and they've just like they could like kind of dinking it and it will just like slightly dent and you have to get out and fix it up again. So I think. How do you guys feel about it? I'm going to straight up ask. How are you guys feeling about have you already experienced the safe speed, saving your grids a few times when you've been playing around them? I'm curious, really curious. All right, so just going back to the blog post. All of this is here, and you can actually you can see that same thing on the page here. So let's go down then, because we want to get to. Do you want to just skip over this, Marek, and just get to the work in progress?
Let's scroll. Okay, and I will comment.
Okay, so we got the Forge and the Future together.
Yeah.
And we have the roadmap, of course, which you've touched on already.
Yeah. This is for the first time probably that we are releasing. I mean, not today, but with SC2, that we are releasing a roadmap. Because before we wanted to be like a little bit more mysterious.
And to clarify, there is a full detailed one on the website as well that goes into, it's a longer length than the one that you can see here.
I see we've got people in the chat linking that. So definitely we can get the roadmap link in the chat as well, because it is very exciting. And some of these things, I mean, here we are, vertical slicer 1, creative modes. The next thing, the next thing being Steam Workshop, the next big thing. And obviously you guys know how important Workshop is to space engineers. So that's coming in vertical slicer 1.1. Again, vertical slicer 1.2, it will have improved mechanics and just some refinements. Another massive one, in the shorter term, being modding support, and that's VRage Hub, the VRage editor. And this is extremely exciting because we really care a lot about our modders and we really love what they do. And I know that they're going to do even bigger and crazier things in SE2. The potential is off the charts.
I can't wait to see what sort of mods they're going to do when we get to that stage. It's going to be really exciting.
And then obviously beyond that, we got the big, planet survival, volumetric water, multiplayer, NPCs, and story campaign. So this is, I say, we're again, guys, we got to just tell you a little bit that stuff is coming. But at the same time, today's stream is a lot about really focusing in on what you guys can play right now. This foundational update, Vertical Slice 1 creative mode. But it's still worth mentioning while you're here, of course, to see what we plan, what's in the works here. So also have the new support portal, Marek, which is very important.
Yeah, so please, if you have some feedback or bugs, please share it with us on the support portal. We can filter through it and...
we can assign them, we can sort it out. Yeah. So that feedback and bug reporting is absolutely vital. And the key part of this early stage as well is in helping build this game with the community.
Yeah. And there will be. Someone's asking, will there be modding guides? I think that's a big change.
There is. We have been discussing this, and we want to make modding easier and more accessible. So there will be modding guides, and we're going to do our best to deliver you some quality tutorials for if you are interested in getting in modding.
Yeah, and it's just like the game. The modding itself will be more accessible. And I've gone off on a quick tangent here, I know, but I can't resist. And Chenda was talking about it, on the reveal stream, and that's how there will be a thing called, I always get the exact title, but it's something like a temporary parameter override. So you guys could load up a block, you can change around the settings, the values and stuff, and then load up the game with those overwritten values just to quickly, experiment and mess around. And this will be something that will be, relatively accessible with people. So this is really, hopefully it encourages people to get into modding and go even more advanced.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, we have the same suggestions, bug reports, all through that. There's some details of how you should report a bug, because you can make our team's life a lot easier by following these key steps, And the voting, of course, is important. It's really important that you guys have a little search to see if the thing you're reporting or suggesting already exists.
Yeah, we want to know what is valuable to you, but so by voting up on problems and bugs that would need our attention, or even feedback that needs our attention, you can get to the top there and we can make sure to check it out.
100%. So we were monitoring. That was a nice screenshot there. Monitoring the support, and here we go. This is I think we really wanted to get into on the blog post here. So I'll scroll down to it, and I think I'll let Marek take the lead on this here.
Yeah. So basically, we wanted to make it clear that there are a few features where you don't have to send feedback, because we know about them. There are temporary limitations. So let's go one by one.
Yeah.
There is something technical about Intel, but we are working with Intel. Then the second one is, as you have noticed, the many blocks are basically decorative only. So even the reactor and or gravity generator, generates the gravity, but that's it. Yeah. But doors, don't open. Lights, they make the light, of course. But what else? Cockpit, of course, works like cockpit.
Like you mentioned, the Gatling gun doesn't function yet.
Yeah.
Or the radio antenna, of course, also will not do the. It is there basically just for decorative purposes, and we'll be adding the functionality in the next updates. Then blueprint interface. So while you can use the blueprints as I have shown, it's still in an initial version, and we'll be improving it. So, and also to explain how this works is that when we were working on vertical slice 1, we had some plan. Then we finished the implementation, we did 1 or 2 iterations, and then basically we had to stop to start preparing the game for QA phase, for testing and preparing for this release. So we have many more ideas, but we just didn't have time to finish them. But we are finishing them now for the next vertical slices.
Yeah.
Then performance, I think performance is quite nice.
Yeah.
But it's still alpha, and still many more performance optimization tasks are planned for later, and also when the game will have more content like planets and so on. So expect that performance will also increase or improve.
And just again, I love my tangents, but just on that, Marek, just to remind people that the optimization potential of SE2 is amazing as well. We talk about the data orientated, all these, the way the game is built up from the ground up is with the idea that future optimization is, the potential is amazing, and it will scale as new hardware and new technology releases. So that's just another kind of point on that performance point, I think.
So in SE1, we basically hit a wall in how much more we can optimize. In SE2, the idea is that there is no wall, And what else? There is no pause. So when you are in the menu, the game is still running. So just be aware of this, that you will not let your ship flying and it will crash. Actually, this happened to me when I was testing that. I left the ship just flying, and then I returned and it was kind of crashed, because it probably during the 20 minutes probably bumped to some asteroids.
So just scrolling down here, we have a few more things.
Then, collisions, ship collisions, performance. I think it's quite good, but
some really intense crashes might cause some performance issues.
And then we are optimizing this. Again, we know exactly what to do, how to do, but sometimes you need to take those optimization passes to help with the performance. Then PCU values, again, the absolute limit is currently 400,000, and it's very possible it will increase. The actual PCU numbers for individual blocks may seem to be higher than for SE1, but it's because the measurement tools that we created for this are much more precise in SE2. So, they may be a little bit more pessimistic than in SE1. But again, the actual PCU numbers, they don't mean much. What is important is what is the total limit. How much you can build. So even if, let's say light would be 5 PCUs in SE2, and I'm just saying some number, I don't remember. And it would be, let's say, 2 in SE1. It doesn't mean nothing, You should not compare like, apples and oranges. It's really actually apples and oranges. What is important is the absolute limit, and I believe we'll be increasing this one. Then the UI or GUI and HUD, they are still work in progress. So we are focusing on functionality and a little bit less on the aesthetics. And because first we want to iterate through the vertical slices the functionality of the UI, and then we will make aesthetics pass. Actually, we will do some aesthetic passes even now, but that's still something that we'll be developing. Inventory system is not implemented, of course, because in creative mode you don't need it, but it will be implemented actually in a VS2 because for survival you will need it. And fracture models, so they look nice, when they move. When you get closer to them, you can see kind of like
the edges and stuff.
The edges are kind of like simplistic, but we already have a new pipeline how to do them with nice rims, and it looks beautiful. So the new fracture models, I think they'll look just like better than real world. Then character shadow. So actually that's something that we disabled as one of the last things before this release or before the code freeze. The reason is that we have planned like a huge rework or improvements of character first-person animations, and actually all character animations for VS 1.2, and there are some issues with the shadows and so on. So the quickest solution was to disable the shadow, and leave all those things for VS 1.2. Nothing in Manush, they are already working on it, and I think it will be amazing. And for me, the animations and the character controller are absolutely important because that's how you connect with the game, like through the character. So it really should feel, there should not be like secondary movement. There should not be like, it really must feel so good. Like that's so important for me. And I have seen some people already commenting that in SE2 it already, the first person feels better, but it will be even better. For example, we'll be improving the way you hold the tool or the gun to be more stable on the screen, like no matter if you rotate vertically or horizontally, those kind of things. Like there is so many details actually that we need to do. And maybe another way how to demonstrate kind of like my obsession with the animations and the character controller is that when the programmers estimated how much work they will need on the character controller, they said 5 man days. And I was like, okay, and then in the end, actually, it was 50, and we are still working on it. So this
10x,
10x. So this can tell you how we are pushing it. Then inverse kinematics are also not implemented, but actually in the internal build we already have them. So inverse kinematics basically makes sure that the feet or the boots are kind of like touching the ground.
So if
like
you're
whatever the surface is.
Yeah. So imagine that one of the foot goes up on a rock and the other foot stays on the ground, or if you're on a slope, they both adjust your feet to the slope.
It's very
and
nice.
It looks really nice. It's really immersive.
It is. It stops the kind of where you have like the, you're stood on a platform and you're stood on it, but your foot's are like floating in the air. So yeah, when you guys see this, I mean, we've just the last couple of days we haven't looking at it, and it's a small thing, but it really is satisfying.
When we tick that box and then feet touch the ground, we were all like, ooh.
Yeah, like everybody in the room said like, oh. It was quite funny.
Yeah.
On the other hand, kind of sad that you don't see the ooh, for some like much bigger features. But that tells you something that these things, these visual, touchy-feely things are important for.
I think we can probably give it like a little teaser, not at some point a little teaser of that university.
Leaks out again.
No. I'm talking about the universe. I'm talking about the IK. I'm thinking we could actually, maybe we can show a little on socials at some point. Think of the newsletter, maybe.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
For those who subscribe to newsletter.
Yeah, that's another. Always got to remind that, guys. Please do subscribe to the Keen Software House newsletter for the exclusive first look at some of the stuff that's going on at Keen Software House and Good AI. And then there's that, but there's also Marek's weekly dev blog where he posts a little bit about how his week's gone from his kind of through his eyes and what he was working on, feedbacking on and stuff. So definitely a couple of things to check out alongside the YouTube and other places is to kind of get a little bit more of that behind the scenes action.
So next thing is, as you have probably noticed, like selecting blocks on toolbar, scrolling through toolbar, changing the block types, block groups and sizes. So what is currently in the game is really like the first shot, that was the simplest to implement, but we are already redoing it. So, it will be much more intuitive. Then undo redo functionality only works for the blocks, not for the paint tool. But again, in the internal build, it already works for the paint color. So when you change the color, you can undo redo these changes. And many small HUD and UX improvements didn't make it, but they are planned. Jetpack mechanics. So this is the new jetpack with the precision mode and the boost mode. And I think it's a big thing. But we are still improving it a little bit, so there will be a charge up. There is like a boost effect, so there is like a sound, like this kind of sonic.
When you see this, it is really immersive.
Yeah.
There's like a short build up, and then the jetpack kicks in, and you just boost it into action. It's so beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
Say this is, as you guys are seeing, this is quite a full list here, and I hope some of this already is like addressing your questions, because people are saying, "Oh, what about this? What about that? Where's this at?" So we've been hammering it home, I hope, but really it's the fact that it is early. We're in the early access VS1, but so many things already taken into account. Some are in the internal build, and we're cooking.
Well, just as we read through this here, we do have plans to go through this in a quicker format for YouTube as well.
Yeah.
So it's all lots of exciting things. It's nice for you to join us, in the longer read through where we give a bit more detail.
Yeah. Then off-center, third-person camera. So the idea is that the camera will not be like behind the character, but slightly on a side. That's something actually we are still prototyping and brainstorming how to do it properly. So, I actually don't even know like what will be the final version, because I'm not sure. It's a challenging feature to kind of like,
Some of the previews look great. It's very cool actually. It's just there are some complications, of course, that the team got to work through.
Then ship controls. So by this I mean, how you control the ship with the mouse. And so we will be also changing that. Basically what is in the game is more or less what was in SC1, but we have, I think, much better system that will so it will feel much better to control large, heavy ships and also small ships. Sound effects are also always, work in progress, and, we are adding more and also improving the old. For example, ship sounds, they are being completely redesigned now. Drill sounds are being redesigned and so on. And tutorials, they will be added more to the end, because obviously first you need to make the core or the mechanics, and then you can think about how to turn it into a tutorial. You cannot do it the other way. And keyboard and mouse controls are not customizable yet, but again, these are the simplifications.
Yes.
Then there is only English language. We don't have localization yet. And again, we are basically waiting also on how much it will be important for players to localize, and then, by the way, during next vertical slices, we will not be doing only things that are on our roadmap, but also based on players' feedback. And like a big one is planned. We actually called it VS 1.6. Will be feedback for the modding and Virage editor, but probably some other smaller things will sneak into VS 1.6. Then, there is some issue with the recoloring of the block, so it works only from certain sides or so. And again, internally it's fixed. What else? Yeah, sometimes the character peeks through the cockpit. Again, that's something that will be fixed quite soon, and it shouldn't, prevent you from enjoying the game. Then some physics things that we know about and are working on improving them, like character can get through voxel during collisions. Destroying the cockpit while character is using it can disable physics. and also, and this is a new one, from Splitsy.
Oh yeah, Splitsy. Big shout out.
So splitting static grid connected to a voxel results in a relocation and explosion of split grid. So actually, the team already fixed this internally, but it's a heavy fix. Actually, they even have to recompile Havoc and so on. So we didn't want to risk it now.
And so close. Yeah,
it's too big for a hotfix.
Yeah.
So we will keep it, I think, for 1.1 or 1.2. I'm not sure.
I think because of that, I would. It's just a general rule. This goes to SE1 and SE all the time. Always be sure to blueprint your ships regularly. And I say right now it's autosave, so it will autosave. But because of that, I think definitely make sure you're blueprinting your ships. So it's a good practice.
Yeah.
Even without this. So. Mark, I just wanted to comment as well on, just because I've seen so many people talking about it, is this, again, the customization of the keyboards and mouse and stuff. Like, I think one of them is the invert the y-axis as well, is something that I'm seeing quite a bit of coming up. And this is key, guys. Honestly, whatever you're feeling, whatever your gut feelings are, your initial feelings, you make them known to us, because, like we saw with Steam Workshop, that was one of the first things, you guys really made it, made it known. Like,
it's all about building this game with the community, and we need that constant feedback coming in, so we can listen what players are wanting, what they're having issues with, what bugs are going on, and with that feedback we can build the best Space Engineers 2 possible.
Exactly. And I think this kind of finishing kind of lines here sum that up, and that's just saying that some things are on the radar internally and already hard working on them. And a lot of it is asking for some patience, guys. Give some patience to our team. It's just a big thing, and we, as I say, we want to make this the, the Space Engineers 2 of all our dreams. So it's gonna just need a bit of how to word it, Aaron? How would you word that? I'm running out of words.
A bit of like tender loving care.
Tender loving care. Yeah. Yeah. So, I think that's obviously the list there, Marek done. I think, is there anything else here? There we go. Let's explore the amateur system together and see where the future of Space Engineers 2 takes us.
Because we do have an FAQ at the bottom as well.
Oh, maybe we should get to that, maybe?
Yeah.
Have a look at that. So we talk about the vision here, and I think we kind of went over this in the intro. 10x, well, no, that's not the 10x. This is 10 years of experience. Oh, it is 10x, but you're taking a lot of this is obviously taking the experience of developing Space Engineers 1 here as well, and I always talk, the Space Keen started off with 4 guys, and now there's 80 people working on Space Engineers 2, and is it 30 or 40 on SE1?
70 on SE2.
70 on SE2,
and 30 on SE1.
30 on SE1,
Yeah.
So a
lot Actually, when you think about it, we never had so many people working on one project in our company. And also, I would say never was Keen at such a good place, so professional and full of like dedicated people who are also good at their job. So, and then this is what I was kind of like keeping for the end was that, again, I think Keen was never at a in a better situation, better condition, and so I think also SC2 is in a it just cannot be better, because we have a really good team. Players are enjoying the game. The revenue is good, so there are no financial issues or anything like that. So I think we are in a very good position to deliver SC2 to the vision and without compromise.
I think so too, and it seems, Matt, there's already a lot of people playing. Guys, can you tell us? Because I have the thing. I heard someone said there was 8,000 people playing already, and this
really?
is,
I didn't even check. Actually.
Yeah, if someone in the chat can check out Steam charts or something, tell us how many people are playing Space Engineers 2 right now.
I'm actually quite curious.
It's been 2 hours now since we hit that release button nearly, so let's see where we at. I'm also really curious. 5,000? 5,000. Okay. I'm not sure. Maybe it wasn't 8. I'm not sure if it was 8,000 but yeah, 5,000. Yeah, there we go. Couple hours in. Awesome.
Just imagine all them people rushing home from work. Because you said to us about when you had to rush home from school because you wanted to play Space Engineers.
Oh, yes.
You're never there when there was a launch, were you? I'm sure there's tons of people rushing home from work, rushing home from school to jump on and have a go at SE2.
Well, I say obviously the time varies, but I say it's still very much like working day in a lot of parts of the world. I mean, what is it? It was 9 now, so it's like it's midday in West Coast US, for example.
I'm sure there's some people who even booked it off as a holiday. Or they've called in sick.
No, I think so. Yeah. So I'm just going to scroll down. We went to the FAQ section here, so let's have a look. Again, talking about the next big leap and the 10x, we definitely covered this at the start here. You guys, I really recommend going over this if you are joining us a little later here. Building freedom, and I want to get down to we cover the hardware requirements as well, the unsupported, the minimum, and the recommended. Again, touching on commitment to SE1, and there is still multiple updates in the works for Space Engineers 1. So the love for Space Engineers 1 continues. We talk about some of the lore here as well, which was covered in the a little bit in the reveal. I think this goes into a little bit more now. Talk about some of the planets and stuff. I'm glancing over this, Marek. If you want to talk about it, we can.
No, I think you should.
Okay, yeah. So we'll get down here. Yeah, look at these beautiful. We can see some of these amazing shots from planets in V-Rage 3 here. So you have the Pioneer Edition as well, we covered, I think.
Yep.
Oh, it's a big old blog post, that's sure. And we got the soundtrack recording, and here we go. So the FAQ here, bringing it up. So, will Space Engineers 2 have Steam Workshop support?
Of course.
Yeah, I say we love Steam Workshop. Yep. It's going to be great. That's going to be a big one when that drops, and people. It was one of the biggest things for the original Space Engineers. Like, it really exploded the kind of virality and the passion of the community. I think when
we just love to share our grids, don't we? Love to see what other people are building and show off what we've spent hours and hours of time building in game.
And this is another. Again, you guys have heard the answers to some of these already, but again, I know we have some new people tuning in tonight. So, will VS1 contain all the blocks that are currently in Space Engineers 1? And I mean, I can cover this. I mean, the answer is obviously SE1 was developed over 11 years, so it will take some time to get to the SE2, in SE2, the level of the number of blocks. But at the same time, even in this vertical slice 1, there are things that SE1 doesn't have, and you'll see that trend as we go. We go into some of the more the features, the advanced modding and the volumetric water. So it's the team is bigger as well, and we've worked out workflows and efficiency and stuff. So it is worth pointing that out from the get-go as well. And we've talked a little bit about what you're getting today, what's happening today. This is
And the exciting part, the next one, that can you transfer your grids from SE1 to SE2? Because we see this comment everywhere all the time. So we've got a link there to the grid exporter.
Yeah.
The grid exporter is still not totally perfect at transferring your grids across, so bear that in mind when you're using it. Use it as a base for when you're transferring grids if you just want to get the rough shape across, and then work that into your design.
And then I think it's funny. I think we did a pretty good job, because most of these FAQ things we've actually hit during the stream. So
we've smashed it.
The other one here again. Why? I'll read out again though. Why are we making a sequel and a new engine, and simply just making an update for SE1? And this is again taking a revolutionary step from SE1 and unconstrained from the past, because the code base. You can read that out. I'm not sure if you want to add anything there, Marek, but I think we covered it.
We covered.
Yeah.
Basically, SE2 is revolutionary step from SE1.
Yeah. And then the same with water. Water's a really, 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 really big one in terms of differentiating between the SE2 and SE1. But it is a huge feature. It's been in the works for many years now. And it's going to be great when it comes. But that's, again...
and it still needs some work.
Yes.
And because we cannot, release it unpolished and buggy, or even with bad performance.
Mm-hmm.
There is still a lot of work. And also we need to ensure that all the use cases that we care about or that we want to deliver on the release date of water are working and are reliable. And another thing is that I think the order of vertical slices, or the features in the vertical slices that we chose, really makes sense. That we cannot add water but not have unified grid system,
again. We've touched it. We've touched it again. Yeah. Why are we doing this? And it isn't in some ways. It isn't typical. But I'm just reading it. It's okay. This approach isn't typical, but it really comes back to the fact that Space Engineers 2. Maybe we developed it behind closed doors for another couple of years and stuff. But the reality is we're already seeing the impact the community's having. Already, even though it's early. So we talked about in the last stream as well, Marek. Like there is a couple of pros and cons around, but at the end of the day, I think, Marek, you were like, why not? Why not get the community involved? And from this point, they can already play, they can already get stuck in. and they can really help us to to develop this.
And
together.
also, it feels to me almost mandatory, because if you would keep it away from people for next year or 3 or 2 or 3,
yeah,
like,
it's already being worked on. It's not like it's it's not like how to word it. The guys are working on it. They got to this stage already, so why not share it, right? I think that was the kind of thing there. So yeah, again, SE1. We are really summarizing here, actually, guys. Updates coming the following months, and another big one. What about PlayStation and Xbox? So I think on this, it's definitely something. I mean, you can say again about this.
So during the early access, we'll be focusing on PC version because it's simply easier,
Yeah.
For the development and for this early access, like frequent releases and so on. But we have already one person working on the console version, and the PH3 was also designed, so we can swap render and basically run it on console. So it's definitely we count with our console players.
Yeah, it's important. I haven't seen too many things about it tonight. I mean, mainly the fact that there's been this surprise that a lot of people are really having a good time on Linux. Again, it wasn't a planned feature or anything. That I know there was a bit of experimentation internally on Steam Deck and stuff. But can we just type Linux in the chat or something? Let me know how many people do we have watching right now who are playing on Linux over Proton, maybe even on Steam Deck. I'm really curious, actually. There you go. Works great on Proton. That's amazing.
That's really nice.
That's great to hear. And I mean, I think you already said, Marek, that Proton is amazing, to be honest. This technology that they developed is awesome. Linux. Wow. That's so cool. That's great. Anyway, it's a nice surprise for today's release, isn't it? And then, of course, we have the conclusion here, guys. Which I like that. The cosmos is your canvas. Engineer your dreams. So it's available now, guys, on Steam. You can pick it up. It's in alpha, and I think now we are heading towards the end of the stream. We've covered a lot here, and I think probably we can just maybe address a few things from the chat that are related to VS1. Does that sound like a good plan to you, Aaron?
Yeah, we can do. I think it's also as well to just mention that if you are building, you are creating things, tag us in it with that SE2 tag hashtag, because that would really help us find your grids. So when we're highlighting them later this week, we can spotlight them for you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's the first thing I'm going to do in the coming hours is going to be checking Discords.
Yeah. And I'm already seeing them pop up. It's such an exciting time seeing all them grids, the ships, the stations, whatever players are building, what sort of modules they build from it. It's a really exciting time.
So I don't know if you guys have some questions specifically about VS1. I know there's a lot of questions about Space Engineers 2 in general. Of course, there's a lot of stuff we've spoken about that's coming and is closer than others. So really just, I guess, questions that are related to today's release and maybe some things that, maybe there's a bit of confusion or something about. And Marek, if you see a question that you want to pick out from there, we can try and address a few here today. Give it a sec.
It's a good question about more textures or skins. Is there plans in the future?
Yeah, definitely. We're also planning decals, so you will be able to use the paint tool to place decals. But skins and more textures, definitely yes.
That's not. I can just imagine. I mean, I can imagine using that same thing and just like spraying on something. That's so cool. That would be so good.
I know there's also been a lot of questions about physics blocks in the future.
Yeah. Like rotors.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah.
People are wondering where they are.
It's inevitable. I say some of the coolest creations in Space Engineers have come from these mechanical blocks. So yeah.
But again, right now the main focus is workshop and editor and modding, and then vertical slice to survival and planets.
It's all about perfecting this baseline experience and making it as good as possible from every element, from the character to the building to the block placement. Just having that really simple usability of placing them blocks and maneuvering the blocks into positions you want is what's going to form that base for the rest of the game.
So if you guys, whoever sees the questions first, you want to pull up. I am ideally looking again for stuff about today, but there is a lot of good questions. But let me see.
Because I'm trying to put a focus on picking them questions that are about the features that are in at the moment, because it's so exciting
I know.
to ask about the future.
Planets, water.
It's so exciting to ask about the future.
I mean, Marek, maybe. Again, it's probably getting a bit too. But people are talking about timescale, right? And like, you know, but I don't think we're not going to say any dates. I don't expect any dates. But I don't know if like maybe Marek is more like how loose we are with the, you know, in terms of.
We can even say roughly.
I think, but I also think it's important to say the problem with putting dates. Why? So if you put dates down, you sometimes have to rush to meet that deadline. Oh, I'm a little bit too far away. So by putting dates down, you sometimes have to rush the team to meet that deadline, to meet your expectations. That in some cases might end up with a feature being pushed too quickly. So to make the features as good as possible, they need to not be rushed. If you agree with that, Marek.
Yeah.
And so definitely will be this year.
Yeah.
It will not be sooner than in 6 months. So again, I'm not avoiding, you know, the precise date, because I don't want to say it. It's more like I'm not really sure, what priorities will get in and so on. And but again, the team is trying to deliver it as soon as possible, but also at the same time in polished quality. And actually, the way it works is that when we have the build ready, it goes almost 2 months through QA process, you know, where basically just QA team is testing it, and then bugs and crashes are being fixed, but no new features are being added. And this takes roughly 2 months, and it's really important, you know, because if you rush it and let's say it's 2 weeks, then you will get bugs, you know, and you probably don't want bugs. So
I think that was just rather than actually saying specific dates, just kind of getting into a little bit of like the mentality around what we're thinking of there. So
when I say like, let's say somewhere between 6 to 12 months, I meant VS2. And there will be VS 1.1, 1.2, 1.5, 1.6 will be in between. So
the word is in the coming months there will be without dates, but in the coming months you can expect workshop and modding to start coming out before that VS2 stuff.
The importance of our new strategy as well is to keep you guys informed. You're going to see more videos, more information available to you of what's happening, so you will be clued in on the exact details of what's going on as soon as it's clear to us.
Yeah, and that's transparency we talk about. It's one of the big things we're really trying. I hope you guys feel it. I mean, I'm sure maybe if you might think, if we set a date, it'd be better. But I don't. I think the majority, I even see some players saying it. I don't think having a date is smart in for majority of reasons, to be honest. But in general, we're trying to be as transparent as it's realistic to be.
We want to show you exactly what you're getting into and what you're getting your hands on from launch, and when you can expect features and the build up to them features as well. Like we briefly touched on it with some of the features that are coming. They are exciting and they get us excited, sometimes so excited.
Too excited.
We talk about that feature, get you excited, and then you demand that feature even quicker. But we want to perfect them. Yeah,
definitely. It's just, we can go a little bit longer here, guys. There's a couple more things here from the chat. I know you guys I've always loved answering questions in the chat, and I think we've addressed quite a lot of the things I saw. There was any of it go on, Matt.
Got a couple of questions about Intel Arc GPUs.
Yes.
So it's already also addressed in the blog post, but we are working with Intel to add the support, and so hopefully there will be some news. By the way, regarding the VS2 date, internally we have a date, of course.
Yeah, a roadmap, like internal deadline and so on. But who knows if it will happen to that day? That's why it's best to need them dates. I love that modding is coming first before other stuff, because I mean, Tammy, it's like why not let the modders get cracking? Like the tools are already there, and while you won't get all the tools that our developers use, just mainly from like a licensing thing, like some of the things we use, they have licenses and per computer licenses and all that kind of stuff. But the main thing is, over time, it will be giving the modders as much as we can. The VRage area, the VRage hub, these are things that are immediately going to be huge changes, and the developers are using this. The VRage hub and the VRage editor, this is what the guys are using. So I keep coming back to it, but modding is going to be great, and why not get the modders involved? Let them have a crack, you know. So
Yeah, we just want to see what they're going to build.
yeah. Adding modding support during SE was one of the best decisions. There we go. Do we have any modders in the chat? Give me a little wave. Give me a low 7, guys. Have you got modders in the chat tonight? I've seen some names there. I'm just curious if we've got some modders.
It'd also be interesting to see what people are working on while they're listening. Are people building their first ship?
Oh, yeah,
people
right now,
having a bit of a shoot at things and causing some destruction? Are they trying to build a station? Have they hollowed out an asteroid? What are they up to?
Let's have a look. We got a lot of modders in the, we already got a lot of modders in the chat. They're great. But yeah, so what have you guys been doing so far in Space Engineers? I was asking, what would be the first thing you do? So what have you done so far? Let's hear it. Yeah.
What would be the first thing you'd do, Joel? Would you build a
Well,
ship?
I've already played. That's the problem. But yeah, if I was, I think one of the first things I did, I was walking around, obviously just taking in the views and stuff, and I was like, and I think I did jump in the red ship and try and crash it. I think
You went for a stroll and then followed it up with a collision.
I think so. That was pretty early on. I think I did that, pretty quick, to be honest.
What about yourself, Marek? What would be the first thing you'd do when you start playing?
Like now, obviously.
Yeah, now I know you've probably got the most hours in it.
Well, but I have kind of like a short experiences, So like I always go in, I test something, review something. I don't spend, like a long time in the game. I actually hope that someday I will, have that mindset, because I still have the kind of like the creator mindset.
And he definitely loves that debug gun.
But what I really want is that when we will have proper survival, the way I envision it, like a really good, accessible survival for me, that's what I'm looking forward to, that I will be kind of living inside and enjoying the survival.
Because that feeds back into, it's when it's the right time to get into the game, when the feature's there. Follow the newsletter, check out our socials, and at the right time, you'll see the feature you want, and that could be time to get into the game for yourself if you are not just a builder or after creative mode at the moment.
But even now, what I enjoy, and this is basically how I play SC2 when I'm not like checking individual, features that we are working on, is that I'm just like walking around and enjoying it. Like it just feels and looks so beautiful to me that it's almost like somebody was kind of like saying that walking simulator, but I mean, it would be insult, but in this case, I think it's more than walking simulator, but I think it's one of the most beautiful walking simulators if you just focus on the walking part.
I mean, I'm not seeing anyone complaining about the graphics, Maris, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's loving that. I mean,
and also the performance.
Yeah, performance with that. I mean, there's a few people who seem to maybe, I don't know, it's hard to say about knowing their specs, and some people, here I am slipping into the future. People were talking about, maybe other future graphical technology, for example, DLSS, for example, is a thing. Like, is this like, I think I can probably answer it by just saying that, like, the team is obviously monitoring all of these, advancements and stuff, and always considering these things. I don't know if there's a specific plan, but still, improving the performance of the game it's the earliest it can possibly be right now, guys. And you will get. I'm pleased to see so many people do have good performance, but it still will get better. So, you see anything else there, Aaron? That's
I'm having a glance through it, but there is quite a lot of questions aiming towards the future, and we are trying our best to keep the questions around what you can get your hands on now, because we know
today at least,
for today at least, just because we know it's super quick to get super excited, and then we go off into the future. Instead of focusing on what we're looking at the moment at launch.
It's a balance, because the flip side is good that we did say like this is it, that's it. It's good that we also say, hey, if there's something you feel is missing, look, this is what we're working on, this is the roadmap. So I think it's important, but it's also like, also trying to focus on the now. So
there was a good question about NPCs, if we will have NPCs. We will have, it's vertical slice 5, and for the first time we'll have human NPCs in Space Engineers, and I think we really need it if we want to make the world feel more alive. And they will be part of the campaign, they will be also part of the sandbox, and I'm really looking forward to that part as well, to be honest, because I don't know, I miss NPCs in SE, and I think this will be another big improvement.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I mean, yeah, I have to, especially about it. I mean, I don't say especially. I mean, water. I want to say I get especially hyped about NPCs, but then I could say the same about water. I could say what they're saying the new planets. So it's very hard to say, to be honest, what I'm most excited for in many ways. When I talk about these, the bigger vertical slices, let's have a look. But there was a question, Marek. I don't know. I don't. People were talking about the pricing in terms of if they can expect the pricing to change towards 1.0 or not. And I'm not sure if that's something we either can talk about, if it's been decided, but maybe you can say something on it. I don't know if you'll like it.
Well, it's possible. Maybe the price will increase when the game will be 1.0. Maybe not. We haven't decided, to be honest. We have quite some thinking about the current price to price it not too much.
Of course.
To upset people and to make them feel that it's not fair and so on, but also not too low, because if it would be too low, then it's sending a message that you don't have confidence, you know what I mean? And then also it's SC2. I really still consider the game to be quite special.
You've got to think about all the support that we've had for SE1 over these years, and as a vote of confidence, to SE2 as a project, we've supported that throughout, and we've had some amazing updates, some really difficult challenges that we've overcome as well. So coming into SE2, use that as a bit of a staging point, see how we can continue to develop this forward.
And just as that's very true. And I'm just on the complete tangent. Well, I was saying that the Keen's game value to dollars has always been fantastic. So that's good. I'm glad you think so, Oearth. And DM Berry's saying, was the stellar music mentioned yet? I loved when I first heard the vocal track set in. And we actually just a little earlier here, Barry, we showcased a video for the orchestra recently recorded playing the soundtrack, and I'm a big music guy, so I really really appreciate the music that's in the game, and I'm glad you do too. Yeah, so it's definitely been mentioned.
I know it's another question on symmetry as well. Symmetry has already been looked at and it's been reported, and it will be it will have better performance in the future.
Yeah. There's some things about. The other one is the painting, right? Marek's already touched on the fact that currently painting is not. What was it? Am I getting this right?
The undo redo doesn't work.
Undo redo, yes. Sorry,
and also the paint tool animation, the particle effect, is still also being improved, and there are some, let's say, glitches in the current version where the painting may not work. So that's also being looked on.
SE Modder is a great name. SE Modder is asking, when can we get V-Rage tools to mod the game? Well, I say 1.5. Not that long, to be relatively speaking. Not that long.
Good. So maybe it's time to
wrap it up. I think so. Yeah, there's a lot more questions, guys, but I think to keep this in, I'll say bite size. We definitely have gone over time just a little bit here today, but I hope that it has been worth for you guys. So I guess we can just go around here on some final comments. For today's this special day. So Aaron, what you got for us?
I'm just excited, to get back home and get playing. And also just seeing what all my friends, all the other communities are up to, and also just build a really cool asteroid base. I'm going to get back home and just jump on straight away.
Yeah, fantastic. And Marek?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the future of Space Engineers and Space Engineers 2, because I really believe that we are in the best position we could be, and with our team, that we can build a game that I will be proud of. It will be probably the best thing I ever built in my life.
Wow, you never know, Marek. Who knows? SE3 in real life. Yeah. So, thank you guys so much. There's not much more to add. We've really gone over it all, guys. Really, I guess the key reminders: it's out on Steam right now. Buy it, but don't buy it, if you're not ready. So there's the interesting message. But really, check it out, guys. Check out the trailer. Check out the blog post. See people playing it. Get stuck in with the community on Discord. The support site. Make suggestions. Report bugs. It's very important. Our team are monitoring right now, and I think when we get off the stream, we're going to be diving into all the thoughts as well.
Remember the hashtag as well.
Exactly. And please do tag us on socials of hashtag SE2. And the Aaron especially is going to be looking out on those socials for what you've been building,
Yeah,
and
we're gonna be
hopefully
looking at them
showcasing
grids.
those. Yeah. So thank you guys so much. It really is epic. And now, please go ahead, go enjoy SE2 Alpha, and we'll be back very soon with more streams and more. Well, more everything.
Yeah.
For everything you've seen today. So thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
We'll roll the trailer one more time as well. It's so cool. All right. Enjoy the trailer one more time, guys. Bye.
Greetings, engineer. I've been assigned to create a small relay station, and it's almost complete. Now I'm just waiting for a lift to take me back. Lately, so much has been happening that I decided to record this vlog for future generations. Today, I kick things off by constructing a cargo ship to simplify our travels. My initial ship layout didn't work out, so I simply undid the last few steps and started fresh. We can now construct a part of a ship, save it as a blueprint, and reuse it later to build other ships or create entirely new designs. It's highly versatile and convenient. This time, I built an engine bay with thrusters of various sizes, a gyroscope room, a hangar, and a spacious cockpit. It's not just practical, it truly feels like home. Adding the finishing touches was a breeze, thanks to Concordia's new 25-centimeter unified grid system. Next, I found a perfect asteroid to build a relay post. There are so many to choose from in a system. I got to work constructing the base, platform, walls, reactor room, and of course, an antenna. Dante will be thrilled. I know he's been asking for this for weeks. The new suits we're using are incredible. Comfortable, equipped with magnetic boots, and a jetpack booster. The jetpack is a lifesaver, helping me hop between workstations quickly. But not everything has gone smoothly out here. Just the other day, I heard about another arrival ship that crashed. We were lucky. We got safely to Almagist. As I wrap up this relay station, I can't help but think about the bigger picture. We're not just building ships and bases. We're building a future. This is only the beginning. The stars are calling, and we're ready.